cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands and keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only Ghost through the shadow in the front. Hope everybody's having a great day outside. Blessed day. You are now tuned in with, I don't know, I was gonna come up with some phrase or something like that. I'm gonna get a mixer actually. I'm gonna start changing my voice. Hold on 1 second, man. Hope everyone's having a blessed day, bro. And want to talk about a couple of things here. So let me get situated real quick. Let me get everything correct here. Once again, move this over here. I got everything uploaded. I think we're good to go. Yes, we are good to go. How's everybody's day going on, man? We had a great fight yesterday. Well, kind of this morning. Let me hold up. My face is all up in the damn screen. I don't want it that damn close. Back up, bro. Back up. Hold up. Back up. Too damn close. Screen. My face is too damn close, bro. All right. So yeah, man, we had a great fight at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And man, I'll tell you right now, man, I love anytime these guys fight in Japan. I love it, bro. I love it. And you got to give it up to Japanese fighters, by the way. You know, I always say I like Japanese fighters. You know, I really want to go to Japan, really. But Japanese fighters, it's not just Japanese fighters, but let's just say European fighters in general. There's a certain type of, well, now I'm going to stick with Japan. There's a certain type of honor that comes with those guys, bro. Those guys will fight to the death. And I saw, you know, I saw something that, I don't know how true this is, but somebody said that a while back when two samurais were going to, like fight to death, right? That they would hang out with each other. They would like hang out with each other prior to like the I don't know how true this is. I was like, but I know Japanese people will fight you to the death, bro. You know what I mean? But I saw some shit where like they actually will hang out with each other before they kill each other. That's crazy. It's like you get to know your victim, you know? But you know, we got a couple of things to talk about. First off, we're gonna talk about Canelo and Crawford having a dinner date. Which is kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there, but I do say that I will say this. I mean, it's normal to probably have a dinner date or whatever. This whole Crawford and Canelo thing it's really something is weird. I don't know what's going on, but does this seem weird? Like, do these events sound like something's going on in the background to you? Does it like seem normal? This fight does not seem normal to me. It's just a lot of things that are happening with this Canelo and Crawford fight that just seem very weird to me. Okay, number one. Before we get into that, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about Brian Norman Jr. We're going to talk about, of course, none other than one of the favorite people I love to talk about, Bill Haney. Shout out to Bill Haney, by the way. I will say that, you know, while I'm on the subject of Bill Haney, I don't want to jump. Let me start with Bill Haney real quick. You know, to address something that he's been saying, it is true. A lot of people talk about Bill Haney. A lot of people do. But people talk about them for different reasons. And I believe context is very, very huge. Like whatever we talk about in boxing, content means everything. Content means everything. And, you know, I like to use examples, right? But if I said to you, I'm in prison for murder, and I just leave it like that, right? What comes to your mind? Like, he's a violent guy. He killed, you know what I mean? But you need context behind that. What if I said, yeah, I'm in jail for murder, but I'm in jail for murder because somebody did something to my family member. And when I went to go address that situation, they tried to attack me. Therefore, you know what I mean? And I didn't get manslaughter because they charged me with second-degree murder because I was already mad. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Context means everything, right? Why do I say that? Because when we're comparing fighters, right, especially like accomplishments, especially in this day and age, right, accomplishments don't really speak for itself to the T. Because just saying you're a champion, that's fine. How did you get your belt? Who did you fight? I think that's important. That doesn't take away from your accomplishments. Not at all. Not at all. But I think it matters. Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, right? Who do you think has a better resume and better accomplishments, right? And I'm bringing those two up because those two seem to be synonymous with the whole, not wanting to be too offensive. But if you were to ask me, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, Shadow, you don't like Devin Haney. That's why you're saying that. No, I'm just being honest. Like, I think being a 3-division champion, the way that Shakur got it, is a lot more impressive than how Devin Haney became undisputed. That's my opinion, though. You could see it a different way. That's why I say context is everything. Devin Haney is the youngest undisputed champion out there, right? I think he is, right? That's what he's in the Hall. If he was to retire right now, that kid would go to the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. You can't take that away from him. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame, right? But when you look at the context of how he got it, how did he get it? He beat one guy. There's nothing wrong with that. Not taking it away, but let's look at the context here. The context is the guy that he beat. He's a what they call it. Kambosos is I hate to say it, bro. He's I don't know what he got. He's a one-trick he's a one-hit wonder. He's a one-hit wonder. Kambosos will forever be known for beating Teofimo Lopez on an off day, bro. And Teo got to live with that for the rest of his life. He's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life, because as time goes on and goes on, that Kambosos loss looks worse and worse and worse, bro. Because I don't even give Kambosos that win against Maxie Hughes. Maxie Hughes beat him. They robbed that man. Kambosos is a one-hit wonder, right? But I look at context for everything. If I look at Shakur and I look at Devin, Shakur, I would say Shakur is a way more accomplished fighter. Why? Okay, number one, Shakur is a multi-division, what was it, 126? He beat Joet Gonzalez, right, to become a champion there. Moves up to 130, beats Jamel Herring and Oscar Valdez, and becomes a unified champion at 130. Then moves up to 135 and beats some Japanese dude, I think it is, right, and became a 3-division champ. Versus Devin. And I'm not here to try. I'm just keeping honest facts with you. Versus Devin, who got the WBC belt once Loma was made franchise champion, or whatever, the franchise belt. I really wish that would have never happened, but here nor there, it's in the past, right? Gets the belt, and that term is coined email champion, right? Teofimo Lopez leaves the WBC tournament, goes fight Nakatani. I think he took the IBF route, and then fought Richard Comey, knocked him out in the second round, and then fought Lomachenko, a prime Lomachenko. Oh, yeah, that just reminds me, too. So, I don't know if Hawker's here or whatever, right? Hawker's my guy. I've been watching him for a long time, but, I had made a video earlier in regards to what Bill said. Now, let me make it clear, bro. I wasn't trying to trash Lomachenko. I think there will never be another Lomachenko, bro. Most fighters that come in are professional usually fight fighters with losing records, right? They usually do. And speaking of people fighting with fighters with losing records, you know what I find is so ironic? Not to get off topic real quick. I have a very good memory, bro. Very, very good memory. In fact, my memory gets me in trouble. I may forget my keys, where I place my keys. I may forget your name, but things that are important to me, I remember. I just have a good memory. It gets me in trouble. Like I'll say to my supervisor, yo, you told me 3 months ago, if I did this, you'd give me this day off. He'd be like, oh, I probably just said that. Well, don't just say shit like that, right? Or like in a relationship, I'll be like, yeah, I remember you saying that, because if it matters to me, I'm going to remember it, right? I don't know how many of y'all remember all these channels was going around trashing Brian Norman Jr. How many channels you remember doing that? I saw countless channels, bro. Trashing Brian Norman Jr., right? Now, I'm not saying what he did is spectacular, but the kid is getting better. This is where you watching boxing being a pugilist comes in. Like, you could tell the kid's getting real better. He's getting better with his skills. He's a dog. I like his mentality. He's already proven to me that he's got a chin, right? I like that kid. Stand-up kid. Doesn't talk a lot of shit. He does his talking in the ring. And that kid he beat, by the way, that Sasaki kid, right? I didn't know. I'm very upfront. If I don't know somebody a lot, I go watch them. I didn't know too much about that guy, and I went and watched like a couple of fights of his prior to, the Brian Norman, and that guy, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. So to me, that's a solid win. Of course, let's not forget. I already knew Brian Norman was solid when he did the famous knockout over Santillion. I mean, that shit right there solidified it for me. When this dude knocked this dude out and did a prison pose, bro. When this dude knocked him out and did that pose that you do when you get in commissary, I knew at that moment, this is a bad boy right here. So, but he's getting better, and I like his mentality, and I think he's a dog. He does, and he doesn't talk a lot of shit. And that Sasaki guy that he beat, I look, if I pronounce the name wrong, I apologize. I'm horrible with these with the Middle Eastern names. I'm really horrible. But he's a solid fighter. He's a solid fighter. He's got power. He's got that guy. I think the only fight you know who I discovered too, real quick, not to get off topic. You know who I discovered when I was looking into the Sasaki guy? There's another fighter that is undefeated right now. I think he's from Japan. At 135, and that guy's good. That guy's good. I watched a couple of his fights too. He's undefeated. You'll be hearing more of him too. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. Like I said, man, these guys from Japan, bro. To me, I've never seen a scary Japan fighter. I've never seen a scary Japanese fighter. Never. I don't know. I didn't see the whole card last night, so maybe there was some. I only watched the main card because, like, bro, it's 4:00 in the morning, man. Like, I can't. Hey, man, salute to the people that did streams, bro. I mean, I got stuff to do. I got a life outside of YouTube, bro. I can't just be waking up at like 2 a.m. and just streaming shit. Like, I can't. My bad, bro. I can't do it. Is it the 140-pound guy? What's going on, HOD? Yeah, there's another guy I discovered, bro. He's real good. Real good. Japanese dude. He's real good. And matter of fact, you know how you go into like you know what they say, like when you're going on YouTube and you go down to what's it called, like the rabbit hole, or I don't know the term, right? Bro, that shit happens with me with boxing, bro. I go to look up somebody, right? And if I don't know the person, I'm like, oh, let me look up this guy. And then next thing you know, I'm typing in highlights, and then I'm just going down a rabbit hole, just finding, you know what I mean? Because, bro, I've been watching boxing since I was a kid, and there's fighters I don't know of. There's fighters I see. I saw a fight the other day that was like from Africa, and it was sanctioned. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know every fighter. I'm not gonna sit here act like I know every fighter. And boxing is my favorite sport. Like, I don't get paid for this. I go out of my way to do this shit. And there's fighters that I don't know. But I saw this one guy. What was it? I'm gonna pull him up in a second. Let me like get off topic. I'm gonna come back to it. But yeah, when I was looking up the Sasaki guy, I found this other guy that was. I think he's at 135. You're saying 140 HOD? What's going on, brother? I don't know. I found another guy. I'm gonna show you him. He fought Sasaki. He was the only one that beat him. Okay, I think Sasaki had a one loss on his record when he fought Brian Norman Jr. Well, the guy that gave him that one loss is the guy I'm talking about, and that guy is undefeated right now, and he's got a high knockout percentage. Anyway, he's hardly known, but he looks like he's pretty good. Let me go back to what I was gonna get to. Hold on one second. Yeah, I mean, yo, you know what, Jonathan? You know what the truth is, bro? Like, I gotta watch what I say because I don't want no problems, bro. Not like nobody's gonna do anything to me, but it's like there's no point in me saying certain things, man, because you guys already know. You know what I mean? You guys already know. And like so many of these channels have like a liberal characteristic. And I'm not even trying to get into politics. I'm just trying to tell you that to me it's a liberal characteristic. If that even makes sense. I guess the best way I can explain it to you is this. I have a conservative mindset. Doesn't mean I'm a Republican. It means I have a conservative mindset, but I apply that to my life. What does that mean? Like, I feel like that a person, people that have a liberal characteristic or a liberal view, they apply it to everything in life. That includes sports and work, right? What is a liberal? And I'm gonna explain it. I'll break it down. Look, a liberal mind is a person that thinks that everybody should get the same, right? Everyone should be treated the same. Everyone's a winner. Everyone should get paid the same, right? Almost like a damn near communist. A lot of people that think like that, right? I'm more conservative. I hold traditional views. I don't believe everybody should get a medal, okay? Not everybody is a winner. Because if everybody was a winner and everybody got a medal, there would be no reason to practice. There'd be no reason to do anything, right? You know how they say everyone's a winner, right? Okay, well, what about the kid that's busting his ass, waking up every morning, trying to practice and get good at his craft? No, there's a winner, there's a loser. You can't pay everybody the same. Because what about the welder that's working in hot weather, like sweating his ass off? If you paid him the same amount as the 7-Eleven cashier, we'd have no welders. So I have a conservative mindset. Why am I saying that? Because I feel like I've said this before and I'm just wasting my time, but a lot of these channels have they have liberal characteristics. So, example. You know how I like to give examples. Monday, I say Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. This is just an example, right? Let's say I have a lot of subscribers. Now I say that, and now I have a group of subscribers that are like, look at this guy, Dick Roddy Canelo. Look at this guy, Dick Roddy Canelo, right? So now I get nervous that I don't want to lose them. So what do? Wednesday, I make another live. Now I'm saying Canelo's ducking people. Just Monday, I said the man was the face of boxing. Now I'm saying he's a fraud. Now I'm saying, right? You see the flip-flop teetering. It's been, I mean, just this is where I knew that it doesn't matter though, right? You see, so they do that because they're like, oh, I don't want to offend these people. I don't want to offend my subscribers over here. I don't want to do that, right? And when you do that, yeah, that's all cool and everything. But on the outside, you look like you're very undecisive. You look like you don't stand on your 2 feet. You look like you don't keep your word. You don't keep it 100. You look like a flip-flopper. That's what it is. You look like a flip-flopper, bro. You could take it however you want to take it, but that's how it looks to a lot of people, right? But I get it. You guys, the main focus is views and exposure and shit like that. I pay attention to a lot of things I shouldn't pay attention to. I shouldn't pay attention to these things because these things bother me. And then that in effect it affects what I do. And I shouldn't do that. That's my fault. But like I said, I've been in this long enough to know what's what. I remember when people were shitting on Brian Norman Jr. So many channels were shitting on that kid. So many channels were shitting on him. Bringing up his record, bringing up all this other shit. Right? And this is why I don't call people cab drivers. This is why I don't call people Walmart clerks and shit like that. I don't do that. Because I know that guy would probably put me in a coma, right? If I say I don't like a fighter, or I say something like, I'm gonna stick with it, like Devin Haney, at least I'm open to you, right? At least I don't lie to you. At least I don't lie to you. I tell you straight up. In fact, I go out of my way sometimes to criticize Teofimo Lopez, and believe me, there's a lot of criticism that comes with that kid. But sometimes I look back and I'm like, why am I doing that to Teo? Why? To prove to some fucking channel that I keep it real? Who gives a fuck, right? Because at the end of the day, they flip-flop every fucking day and your subscribers don't go nowhere. They grow. So, I mean, what is it? So, but it's hard for me. it's hard for me as a person that has a good memory. I just remember things. That's all. I have a good memory. Yeah, you could change your mind. Everyone changes their mind. But I feel like you should stand on something. That's all I'm saying, right? If you say you like a fighter and over time that fighter has some bad performances or starts doing some shit, yeah. But when I see you say something on Monday and then the very next week you say something the total opposite, I'm looking at you very weird. I'm like, where'd that come from? But anyway, I digress. I remember when a lot of channels were shitting on that kid. Now, with that being said, I still see some people now, they downplaying his victory, right? Calling him a sous chef. With the racist comments, right? Oh, he beat a Japanese sous chef, right? This community is funny as fuck, bro. Bro, I don't give a fuck in 2025, HOD. I already told you, bro. I've been saying names, making videos. I dare motherfucker to do. I got time, bro. I'm a different person in 2025, bro. I've been asking for smoke. I'm waiting. I'm dead ass serious too. I'm dead ass serious, bro. I'm dead ass serious. Because when I look at this community, you know what I see? I see people that walk around and they think that their popularity or their subscriber count influences what they know. I know people with 50,000 subscribers and are dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. Can't debate for nothing, bro. Can't debate for nothing. I would tear them, and bro, I would destroy them, bro. I would destroy them. And I'm not even, I don't even think that I know more than a lot of people. I'm telling you, there's some people out there that their channel is not built authentically. But salute to that though, because they still put the work in and they hustle. Because if there's one thing I don't do, is I don't do enough. I know what my downfall is. I don't do this a lot. I don't. But I know for a fact, if I pump out a video every day and do lives every day, of course I'd grow. It's not my intention, because like I said, I'm comfortable with my life. You want me to be honest with you? Like, I'm kind of nervous to grow. And I shouldn't be saying shit like that, but I know people gonna make fun of me. I don't give a fuck. I get nervous to grow because I don't want to get put in a situation where I'm like, oh, I could do this full time and then quit, you know what I mean? And make a fucked up decision that's where I'm a, you know what I mean? And so I kind of sabotage myself at times. You know, I sabotage myself. I'm not stupid. I'm not a stupid individual. Like I said, like I've done things like I learned how to build gaming PCs, and nobody taught me nothing. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing to do in the world. You could do it. Anyone could do it. But what I'm saying is I learned that within 3 months. I was building PCs like nothing. And I know which companies and which parts are compatible and you know the difference between AM4 and AM5 sockets on a CPU and stuff. And it's not hard. It's just when I put my mind in something, I could do it. But I criticize other channels so much that I let it bother me. But it's because I do love the sport of boxing. I really do. But like I said, 2025, I don't give a fuck no more. I don't care no more. Nice guy shit don't get you nowhere. So that's why I've been making videos saying whoever the hell I want. First off, we all know ain't nobody gonna do shit. And I'm not Tough Tony. I'm just telling you the truth. Nobody's gonna do shit. I've seen people threaten people's lives. They still here. The worst they gonna do is try to dox you and call your job. Ooh. I mean, but anyway. What's going on, man? Nah, not him, bro. Not him. He's at 135. He's the dude that, oh yeah, it is him. I'm sorry, HOD. You're right. Salute to HOD, the guy that's gonna say he's never wrong. You're right. Him. He's good, bro. He's good. He's undefeated, right? He's undefeated. He's the guy that beat Sasaki, right? I was watching some of his fights yesterday. And he's tall, and he's got reach, and he's got power. But of course, we ain't gonna know until you fight the top tier, right? So HLD, I saw you when you was on Showbiz, right? And man, first let me say, bro, I don't hate the Haney's, man. I know a lot of people think I do. I don't hate the Haney's. To me, this is competitive, all right? I try to stand firm on what I believe in, and I know that this is a sport at the end of the day, and I know that it's impossible for you to watch this sport and not be a fan of a fighter, right? And so I make it clear who I like, but I want to let me real quick before I transition on to the whole Canelo thing and the whole Brian Norman Jr. fight. Before I even transition to that, I think maybe it's just a possibility that people just maybe don't understand. But so far, too often, when I'm talking to a boxing person, right, or another boxing fan, right, that the word bias comes up a lot, right? Or you're biased, Shadow, or you're biased, right? And I'm like, maybe they don't know the definition, right? But you do. It's impossible for you to be unbiased. ChatGPT collects information from everywhere, right? So most likely, I think they said the odds of ChatGPT being wrong is like up there with hitting the lotto. I say that because go to ChatGPT and ask, is it possible for me to be unbiased? It's going to tell you no. Not as a human being, you can't. We all have biases. It's no different than when you go get ice cream and you're like, I want chocolate or vanilla, right? You're biased. That's what you're picking, right? So it's about being fair with your biasness. I know I'm biased. I'll never say I'm unbiased. I'd be lying to you. That's like saying I live without eating. You wouldn't believe that, would you? If I told you I live and I don't eat, you'd be like, well, then you're not human. We're all biased, bro. We're all biased. Somebody does something to your kid, right? You're going to choose your kid over anybody. That's your bias. That's your kid. But if your kid does something wrong to somebody else's kid and they didn't do anything, you got to be fair. That's what I try to be in boxing. Fair. Now, have I been unfair towards Devin Haney? You damn right. You damn right. You damn right. I have been. And like I said, it's fun. It's fun. But I'll also say context is everything. Is context not everything? I brought up Shakur Stevenson for a reason. Because I bet you if you took some fans and said, hey, who do you think is more accomplished? Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney? I bet you so many people would say Devin Haney because he was the youngest undisputed champion. Yes, you're correct. You're right. And yes, that's probably something that will get him into the Hall of Fame. But like I said, context is everything for me. How did he get that? He beat one guy. And the guy that he beat was a guy that beat the other guy who did the heavy lifting. Tio did all the heavy lifting. Tio beat Nakatani, beat Comey, and beat a prime Loma. And I saw Bill say on Showbiz's channel that Loma came out and Loma said that he had a shoulder injury when he fought Loma. Now, look, whether he did or whether he not, I'm not gonna sit here and call Loma a liar. But what I am gonna say is when you sit there and you say that people are casuals if they don't know that Loma had a hurt shoulder, right? And you say, well, what are you going off of? Well, I'm going off of what Loma said. Oh, really? You're going off what Loma said? Because I remember Loma saying 2 times on 2 separate occasions that he was in the best shape of his career. Not only did he say that, but Loma had also said, like I said, I got a great memory. I go back to that lead up in the conference. That was during the C19, right? And that was when they started having press conferences on camera. Not only did he say it on the Blood, Sweat, and Tears, but he also said it at the press conference when Loma was sitting next to Bob Arum and Tio had a split screen and Tio was over there saying, hey, Bob, I know that's your guy, Bob, but I got to do it to him, right? Nobody asked Loma anything about no injuries, comes out again. and says, yeah, nah, like I said, these other fights, I've been injured. Nah, I'm 100% this fight. And then on top of that, during the blood, sweat, and tears buildup, he talked about how they changed the way that they train. That it was more focused on like the blinking lights and the peripheral vision and the swimming and everything like that. So he's basically reinforcing that. He's like, yo, my other fights, like with Corolla, broken hand, and well, this other fight, something shoulder, right? I was pushing myself during these training camps, and now these training camps are more relaxed. And we found swimming, right? Swimming. Even though I did swimming before, I'm now doing more swimming because it's less. It's a good workout, less injury, right? And working more on like peripheral shit. That's why you saw Loma doing all that, the Matrix shit, playing chess and all types of shit, right? Working his mind, right? Like I said, there'll never be another Loma. But I'm saying, if you're going to sit there and say that Loma said that's what you're using, then okay, if that's what Loma said after the fight, I could show you what Loma said before the fight, during the fight, on multiple occasions, and even talked about how his training camps are less grueling, meaning less prone to injury. If anybody beat Loma at their prime, it was Tio. It was Tio. And let's not forget, like, we talking Loma here, bro. Loma beat a prime Gary Russell. I just saw that fight the other day, and that fight was a good fight. It was a good fight. Gary Russell, a bad motherfucker. Man, where is Gary, bro? Why Gary fight like once every 2 years? Like, what contract he got? What contract Gary Russell got, bro? I like Gary Russell. Well, he from Maryland too. He be saying, "Shorty, that's Shorty shit." Must be awkward with Bud and Canelo having dinner. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's weird too. That's really weird. Call me crazy, bro. Something doesn't seem right about the Canelo fight, man. Something doesn't seem right. I mean, okay, I get it, right? So did you see the video where Canelo was who got it? Was it on a boxing channel, or was it on like ESPN, or was it the Ring Magazine? Does Ring Magazine have their own like YouTube channel with videos and stuff? Do they? So I don't know, maybe HOD knows. There was a video with Canelo. Let me see if I can find it. It was a video with Canelo with Crawford, right? And Turk Al-Sheikh is standing there. They're in the same room. I think they're in the same room, right? And you see Canelo say something like, he said something like, Canelo with his broken English, right? He said something like, we don't need to talk shit. We don't need to talk shit. Everyone know what I'm going to do. Everyone knows what he's going to do. We don't need to do all this, Canelo's basically trying to say we don't got to disrespect each other. I get that part, bro. I get that. They're professionals. But damn, y'all taking each other out on dates and shit? Look at this shit. I mean, that's a lot of, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a lot of food, bro. Shit, this should get me hungry. I mean, I don't get it, man. I feel like something wrong. I feel like, is it me? Am I wrong to feel like something like some weird activity is going? Like, am I wrong for feeling that, bro? Am I wrong for feeling that like we're not gonna get an authentic fight? I'm not, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who wins, bro. Just to let you know, I don't got no dog in the race, bro. Crawford win, hooray. Canelo win, hooray. I'll tell you what I think's gonna happen. I think I favor Canelo, right? I don't look too much into the whole, well, look at Bud when he's standing next to him. Look how tall he is. Bro, I already knew how tall Bud is, bro. I already knew he was like his size. Which is why you think about it, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. You got Boots and Spence and Crawford and all these big, huge fighters, and you got little old Canelo just moving fucking past weight classes, bro. That's crazy. Ain't nobody did it better than Pacquiao, though. Ain't nobody did it better than Pacquiao. What, he was 108? Bro, ain't no, but 108 to what? 154? Shout out to Pacquiao, bro. Damn. But yeah, I feel like something bad's gonna happen in this fight, man. Like I feel, and then, yo, I hate to say it, bro. Look, man, I could be petty at times, but I'm boxing all the way, bro. I'm boxing all the way. So put it like this: we have our community, right? You know how people don't like each other and shit. I could care less when it comes to that. I stand with everybody when it comes to boxing, bro. I like UFC. It is what it is. I watch it, but I'm boxing all day, every day. And I can get real petty. I was real petty with that when Tyson Fury got dropped and all them UFC dudes they came over here for a couple of weeks and was saying some crazy ass shit. If y'all remember that was fun. Those 2 weeks were fun. Dudes was coming over here saying O'Malley could beat Crawford and all types of shit. Just crazy stuff, man. But when I see Dana White, that don't make me feel good. I don't hate Dana White, but it don't make me feel good either. I don't feel like I'm getting an authentic event. If that fight is even remotely close, they're giving it to Crawford, bro. If that fight is even remotely close, they're going to give it to Crawford. Guarantee you. Hands down. If it's even remotely, and matter of fact, put it like this. Let's say Canelo, it's going to be, it's obviously it's 12 rounds, right? It's got to be 12 rounds. Got to be. It's not 10 rounds. It's not a non-title fight, right? This is for undisputed, right? 12-round fight, right? For you to get robbed. Wait. Where's the venue at? Is it in America? First it was Vegas, then it wasn't, then it was Saudi, then it wasn't. Where's it at? Well, it really don't matter. It's still Turk. It's still Turk al-Sheikh, bro. It's still Turk al-Sheikh. I'll tell you like this, bro. If they really want to rob this motherfucker, bro, all Crawford gotta do is win 4 rounds, 5 rounds. They could turn that around easily. And I'm not, bro. Like I said, I don't care who wins, bro. I'm just telling you, it doesn't seem right to me. All this whining and dining and what? Y'all gonna be playing golf next? But y'all gonna be in the golf cart and shit? All y'all three shooting golf and why don't y'all go to the movies and shit? That's just, I don't know. It's too friendly to me. It's weird activity, man. What do you mean are we still cool, Hawker? Why would you say that? Hawker, why would you say that? Yes, brother. Yeah. Why? Because you said that about Loma? Bro, it's okay. Bro, nah. Look, man, the dudes that are always here, I know who fucks with me and who doesn't, bro. I like the fact y'all disagree with me. Our relationship is authentic. You think I don't know who rocks with me, bro? Some of y'all been rocking with me for years. I know who rocks with me and who don't rock with me. Hawker, hell, come on, bro. You ain't saying nothing that would piss me off. You feel a certain way. You feel like Loma was injured, right? I don't. Even if he was, though. That really wasn't my point, though. My point is that my whole point of the video, you know, I don't know when you got here, but my whole point of the video was not to necessarily try to shit on Loma. I already told you, this is tribal for me, right? This is competitive to me. All this shit is competitive to me. Yeah, I know I rock with T.O., right? I don't let them slide on everything, right? But I rock. You listen, we pick sides over here, bro. Whoever tells you they don't pick sides is lying, bro. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Nobody watches the NBA and goes, yeah, ain't no team I like them all. Hell no. They like the Knicks, the Lakers, something. They like somebody, bro. They like a team, bro. They rock with a team. Don't let these people lie to you, bro. They're lying. I'm just straight up. I rock with T.O. since day one. So now when he does that goofy shit and whatever, I say whatever. Like I said, I've gone out of my way to criticize this kid probably unrighteously at times. And I did it just to show other people that, hey, I'm not a dick rider. I rocks with him in the ring. You know? But when you start saying the whole monkey shit, you know, and you know, and y'all already know I like that. Personally, I didn't like that. But the whole Loma shit, that's just because, you know, there's a campaign. There's like a campaign going around making it seem like T.O. wants no parts of Devin. And part of that is true. But like I said, context is everything. Context is everything, right? It's more of the situation than the actual fight itself, right? And what I mean by that, and the hypocrisy, right? When I said to you that I watch BTFB, that I do BTFB, right? I do, right? But I watch it for different reasons. It's comedy for me. It's straight comedy. It's comedy, right? Also, I watch certain channels also, right? I'm telling you, bro, if y'all were to hop in my mind, if you were to hop in my mind, you'd be like, yo, Shadow, I don't know how y'all would think of me. That's why I got to be careful with me opening my mouth and just saying sporadic things that I think about. But I watch certain channels just so I watch certain channels sometimes just to see what they say. So if I ever debate them, I know how to take them down. I do shit like that, bro. Like I watch certain channels and I'm like, I watch their demeanor. I watch how they debate people. And I keep that shit in the back of my head. And I'm like, okay, well, if he ever debate me, I got his ass. He can't beat me. And that's I do that with certain channels. And I watch him only because it's like the Devin Haney, just to see how other people, because believe it or not, y'all, believe it or not, there are people out there that really believe they have that mindset, right? So for example, you know how we were saying the whole time, bro, that Boots, he looked like he ducked T.O., bro, right? At first, I was in denial. Y'all know, like I like Boots, right? So I'm like, damn, I don't think Boots would duck T.O., right? But as time went on, right? And when you look into everything, but now you see he's moving up to 154, right? But just at the time, like I said, context is everything, right? That wasn't the first time. That was like the second time with T.O. If it was the first time, I wouldn't have cared. If it was the first time, I wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, bro, seriously? He ain't ducking T.O., right? But that was the second time. And let's not forget that prior to that happening, when he fought Karen the second time and did worse, right? And did worse. Right after the fight, he was like, yo, I think I need to move up to 154. Did he not say that? He said that, right? And then about a week or two later, Turk needed somebody to fill in for Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz at 154, and there's history there as far as what fans wanted to see. Fans have always wanted to see Virgil Ortiz versus Boots, right? So he looked like he didn't want to take that fight. I put that blame on Eddie Hearn, right? Because Eddie Hearn made it clear, no. This is what we want to take. We want to go on. We want to do the unified thing. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. He's at 147. He's doing 147 shit. So, you know what I mean? So I at that time I'm defending Boots. I'm like, wait a second, bro. He's at 147. You got T.O. as at 140 trying to fight this guy, right? Then you got Turk trying to get him to fight Virgil, who's at 154, right? So I'm giving Boots these passes. I'm like, nah, come on, bro. Like, come on, like, right? But when I look at everything in the context, yeah. It just, and now I want to make it clear, it's not because he doesn't think he can beat these guys. Come on, I think Boots can beat anybody. I just think that Boots is the type of person, and I like this about him. Boots looks like the type of person that he sees what people say. He don't let that shit get to him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you've know. There's no way, bro. Do you know how many? Can you imagine? Let's switch this out. I know you about to laugh. Let's switch this out. Take Jerron and his Boots off the table. All that shit going on with the Duck and T.O., the Virgil Ortiz, not looking good in the Karen fight, right? Not knowing whether you want to go to 154, 147, right? Let's just take Boots out and put Shakur Stevenson in there. How you think he would have reacted to everything people were saying? That kid would have been in a psychiatric hospital, bro. He can't even handle a tweet. He can't even handle a tweet. You say one thing to Shakur. You say one thing. Hey, man, why you get them is that light blue sneakers? Man, fuck you. What? Damn, I just said that's how he is. But Boots, he took all that criticism and he didn't say nothing. Say nothing. He just went to 154. There's no way he didn't see, in a world of 2025 with social media, you don't see what everybody's saying. You duck, you this, you that, you that. He don't care. I actually respect that, because that would have been me. I'd have been firing at everybody, bro. I'd have been like, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know me, right? But, but still, when I look at the context, that was the second time with T.O. But getting back to what I'm saying with why I made the Loma video, and I kind of went off track, is because it's fun for me to see the hypocrisy, but then to realize how people actually think. So for instance, now they're saying, when we said that T.O., that he was ducking T.O., these guys were over there saying, hell no, he ain't ducking T.O. Hell no. Hell no. Now, why? For what? What does T.O. have to offer him? But now, because he moved up to 154, now they're saying that Boots ducked Devin. Now they're saying Boots ducked Devin. And when somebody, and I was watching him earlier, somebody was like, Boots ducked Devin. And then somebody said, but what? How? So he's like, yeah, because you saw Bill Haney earlier today, right? On X. Bill Haney went on X earlier today. And this is what I say about Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I've watched them for so long. I know how they react, bro. The moment they saw Brian Norman Jr. flatline this kid, they are not going to be talking about that. They are going to redirect you. I've been watching that, bro. I know this is one thing, bro. I know how the Haneys move, bro. I know how you will not hear them wanting to pursue this for the next foreseeable future. They are already saying things. Boots ducked Devin. Boots would have been the biggest bag. That's what Bill wrote. Is that what you focused on, Bill? You focused on Boots, who moved up to 154. He's not in the same division as your son no more. But this kid is. The one that your son said that he'll fight, the one that was on that so-called hit list, is. Why you ain't talking about him, but you want to talk about Boots? Boots ain't at 154 no more. Seems kind of, isn't it Devin versus everybody? Well, I mean, this kid made it quite clear. Y'all, come on now. Y'all ain't got no excuses, right? You mad because people saying that your son is a runner. You mad and trying to expose T.O. as a duck, right? Right? That's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to say T.O. is a duck, right? Right? And well, you got Brian Norman Jr. on that list. And now you want to talk about, Boots. Devin would have been the biggest bag for Boots. And that's why these guys are over here trying to say, well, look, he moved up to 154. He kind of avoided Devin. And then somebody said in the comment, but then that doesn't make any sense, because he did that with Tio, and you said it wasn't a duck. Now he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna say Tio, if you're gonna say he ducked Tio, well, then he definitely ducked that. You see how they just flip flop and teeter back and forth, the meat riding. That's why I call him the meat riding president, bro. You ain't gonna see these dudes. These dudes ain't looking for Brian Norman Jr., bro. You must be out of your mind, bro. If you think Tio would be chasing Devin, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen if Brian Norman Jr. is in the ring with Devin? Tell me. Kid already has PTSD, bro. You're gonna see a track star. I for one, I'm seeing some people out there go, hey, no, Devin, don't do it. No, fuck that. Do it, Devin. Do it. Do it. I'm not going to sit here and say, don't do it, Devin. Don't fight Brian Norman Jr. No. I want to know. Go ahead. Impress me. Impress me. Yeah, I didn't want to see the Tio. I mean, if Tio was to fight him, there's nothing I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna be like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna go for Tio and this and that. But I heard Bill Haney say this. Let me ask you, don't you think you should be held accountable for your actions? If you go to prison and do something, if you do your time, just because you did your time, are people supposed to forget what you went to prison for? No, you live with your consequences for the rest of your life, bro. Even if it's a mistake. Even if it's a mistake, you have to. It's part of life, bro. I've made decisions in my life I will live with for the rest of my life. I can't take it back. I just got to deal with the fact that I did it. Right? It comes with life, right? When we bring up Victor Conti, right? And we bring up, oh, well, look, he ruined all these athletes' careers by showing them how to not only use PEDs, but how to beat a PED test while using PEDs. And now these guys can't get into the Hall of Fame or nothing like that. And yes, it was their actions. They are culpable for their decisions, of course, right? But at the same time, this man did his time, right? It came out and he's not ahead of a snack program in a combat sport. And people will tell you, everybody should get a second chance. You're right. Everybody should get a second chance. Well, actually, first off, I don't think anybody should get anything. But grace, right? Everyone gets grace from God. What they say, the rain falls on the just and the unjust, right? Everyone gets grace, right? Does that mean you should run that program? No. It's like I said, if you wanna the S offender list, right? You do 10 years in prison. Okay, you did your time. Do you have to run a daycare? Do you have to? Do you have to open up a dating service? There's nothing else you can do. That's what I mean by that. Devin, in his last fight, we know what he did. He can't take it back. He can't. But he should still, fans rightfully so, have every right to say what they're saying. Because at the end of the day, people paid money. Not everybody just takes the fire stick, bro. People paid money. There's a reason why Turk said what he said. There's a reason why. Just because he has access to all this money doesn't mean it's not the principle of the thing. The man's paying you a lot of money. He expects you to fight. And then, of course, you got the extreme guys. Oh, drop him, rock him, sock him. You know what I mean when I say that. I don't mean you should just drop your hands and just, you hit me, I hit you. That's not what I mean. But you should always have in the back of your head that you are a performer. You're fighting. I don't understand. What's wrong with balance, y'all? What's wrong with balance? Like, if you're gonna lose weight, right? You don't have to just drink water and just eat leaves, bro. You can eat other shit. You can, yes. You can have some ice cream. You can have a slice of bread. Damn, bro. You don't have to be so damn drastic. When people say they don't want to see someone run, you know what we mean. And another thing too is another reason why I go at them too. I don't like the way they disrespect greats. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like Bill I think Bill does his job very well. I think Bill is entertaining. I think Bill loves his son more. I don't know him personally, but he looks like a great father. He looks like he does everything obviously look at what he does for Dev. He treats Dev like a kid. He treats him like a kid. The kid hardly speaks for himself. Daddy picks up all his arguments. You say one thing about Devin and Big Bad Bill pops up, right? So I respect that in a way. I really do. I do. But at the end of the day, when he's doing these things, he's disrespecting greats like Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather. What did you say they were running? Did you say they were running? Come on, man. Sugar Ray Leonard? How dare you even mention Sugar Ray Leonard, bro? There will never be another Sugar Ray Leonard. By the way, I just saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight yesterday. Man, Sugar Ray Leonard was something else, bro. He fought the guy, Mickey Ward's brother. Look up that fight. Sugar Ray Leonard, he fought. Well, actually, no, he trained Mickey Ward afterwards. There was a fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, and he fought some crazy guy, some crazy white guy. He went to prison or whatever, came out or whatever. Later on in life, he trained Mickey Ward, who had the fights with Arturo Gatti. Man, I saw that fight yesterday. That shit was off the chain, bro. Sugar Ray Leonard was a bad boy, bro. Bad, and he was mean. And he was mean. That's why I get mad at shit like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with you saying you think your son is the best, but you don't got to degrade people. So when he went on Showbiz's channel, after saying all these channels live off the Haneys, I will admit, I will be the first to admit, a lot of people talk about the Haneys a lot. Absolutely. But make no mistake, just like if I was not to do this no more, just like if Showbiz was to stop, I don't care if it's Showbiz, I don't care if it's Shadow or anybody with 1 subscriber or 1 million. If we stop tomorrow, boxing is going to continue. YouTube is going to continue. When Canelo retires, it's going to continue, right? Floyd left, it's going to continue. So, yeah, a lot of people talk about you, but to make it seem like without you, there's nothing to talk about, that's narcissistic as hell. Not to mention, you're forgetting a lot of the reason why people are talking is because that's what you want. Number one, that's what you want. And number two, you're constantly out there saying shit that you're purposely like, that's what you want. That's what you want. So when you get it, don't complain. Don't complain that everyone's talking about you. Don't get mad everyone's saying that he's running. I think as a whole, people felt like the kid did not want to fight. But when he went on there the other day, the first thing he did was attack Teofimo Lopez and say, oh, well, yeah, Loma had a hurt shoulder. How do you know? Well, that's what Loma said. Did y'all know Loma said? And then he said something like, you're a casual because you don't even know Loma said that. That's why I went out my way and said, okay, well, let me show you what Loma said. Let me show you what he said. Because I have a good memory. And he said it twice. And he even said that he was changing his training to be less injury prone. On top of that. And both times he brought up how he felt. Nobody asked him. Nobody said, hey, Loma, are you dealing with any injuries? No. He came out of his own mouth. He came out of his own way to let everybody know. Yo, when I fought this dude, I had a broken hand. Or, yo, when I had this, I had that. But, yo, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to be 100. Now, maybe he did get injured. I don't know. I'm just showing you my response to that is if your response is because he said that, oh, well, let me show you some other shit he said. when T.O. fought Kambosos, let me ask you, when T.O. fought Kambosos, how many of you remember it was through now I don't know exactly what was going on. Maybe HOD can remember. He knows that whole contract shit better than me. But I know at that time, the whole Triller shit was going on. Right? That fight had been delayed numerous times. And not only was it delayed numerous times, but during that time, I remember speaking to Bill Haney and speaking to Teofimo Lopez Sr. because the whole Devin and shit was at his height at that time, right? Devin had that WBC belt. Tio had all the other belts. At the time, I was a new YouTuber. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I'm just following everybody around. I'm going to Rap Star. I'm going to Punch. I'm going to Black and Brown. I'm going to everybody. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I love it. I'm boxing. I love it, right? And I remember talking to them. And I remember T.O. Sr. then, before the fight even started, like before he even fought Kambosos, bro. I remember, I have a good memory, bro. He's like, yeah, we're going to go to 140. We want Josh Taylor. He was saying it then. I remember talking to him, and I asked him about what was the dude's name, the dude that used to have the dude that was doing with the defense with the sticks, Joey, whatever his name is. And I was like, yo, where is he? Because I think T.O. had better I asked him where's that where he said no, we don't have him for this camp. I said why? He said, we're bringing it back to just me and my son. I remember all these conversations, right? So I remember them saying they didn't want to go, that they were going to go to 140, right? And then when he loses to Kambosos, right, you got these same outlets acting like that never happened, acting like you don't remember what they were saying, and then tried to put out a narrative that he ducked Kambosos. Like, it's crazy. No, I'm that guy that remembers shit. I remember shit. And I will pull up a receipt, bro. I will go, like I said, bro, my memory has gotten me in trouble numerous times in my life. I'm that type of dude that'll say, you told me last year that you would do this for me. And I remember because it's something that I care about, right? So whether it's boxing, if it's sports, if it's whatever, something that I take interest in, great memory. But I'll lose my damn keys when I go to the bathroom. And I'll forget your name. It's just how I am. But I remember them saying all this. And if I'm correct, I believe what happened with T.O. happened the day of or the day prior. But still, I don't think he should have fought. But when I look at the context of everything, how many times was that fight pushed back? So many times. So I could understand the decision to want to move forward, but then look at the opposite. Look at the opposite, right? Ryan Garcia comes in a couple pounds overweight. Devin Haney got no problem taking that money, and he gets seriously hurt. So it's not always worth going forward with the fight. It's not always worth it, bro. It's just not. Like De Los Santos. I don't know how many of you guys really think De Los Santos should have really went on to fight Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn Davis was going to hurt that motherfucker, bro. Keyshawn Davis was going to hurt him, bro. I'm glad he didn't take that fight. And De Los Santos ain't even look like he was in shape. And what Keyshawn did was cruddy. It was cruddy because I think he purposely was trying to hurt that man. I think he calculated and said, you know what? I ain't even going to make, because De Los Santos was getting Keyshawn mad leading up to that fight. Keyshawn was getting mad. Keyshawn was like, at first I wasn't even going to say anything, but, I didn't think he going to run his mouth like this. Or he really running his mouth. And I think at some point Keyshawn was like, bro, I'm going to hurt this dude. And I'm going to move up anyway. I don't want to stay here. Like, to me, that's crud-like behavior. Then you saw the jumping. How y'all doing, bro? Divine, chill out, brother. Chill out, brother, because I be getting on them when they say shit to you like that. Chill out, bro. Y'all so fucked up, bro. Why do I feel like all y'all that talk shit like that? Why do I feel like y'all like chill with each other? Y'all look like you chill with each other, bro. I mean, it reminds me of these young kids out in Chicago. These young kids out in Chicago, like they rep different gangs and they really want to kill their op, but these dudes will get on live and chill with them. They'll chill with them. You ever see some shit like that? These dudes want to kill the other man on the phone. Like they want to kill this man. If they see him, they're gonna pump a whole clip into him. And they'll sit there and talk to him on live. They'll joke around and shit. That's why I started off my live saying I saw some shit with the Japanese people. And I don't know how true it is. I gotta look it up. But like a long time ago, samurais would hang out with their enemy to get to know them because one of them were gonna die. I can't do that. I can't do that, bro. I ain't trying to get to know you if I'm gonna kill you. That shit must be crazy, bro. It's like, damn, I don't want to kill him now. He's a nice guy. But I guarantee you, he won't hesitate to kill you. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, let's look, man. Let me start by saying this. I will start, but I've been talking for like an hour now. Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. Well, the landscape has changed now. Now that Boots is up at 154. So now I have to say, Tio, if you don't want to fight at 140 no more, brother, then you got to fight right there. I got to keep that same energy. I ain't just going to call on Devin to do it. Because we already know how that fight's going to go. At least I think. So you were going to fight Boots, right? And the reason for fighting Boots was for the belt and legacy, right? You can still do that with Brian Norman Jr., Tio. Matter of fact, I wonder if Brian Norman Jr. is waiting for the Pacquiao and Barrios fight. And I wonder if they could somehow make that fight. Is it true or am I bugging that I read that ESPN, The Zone, or PBC are trying to get together? I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Let's get everything on one network, bro. I'm tired of going to The Zone, all these different channels, bro. That shit is like the WWE, bro. The WWE got Netflix. What they got, like Monday night or whatever Thursday is on Netflix. I don't watch wrestling, but I know I have some friends that do. And it's like Netflix is like one day it's Raw, and USA is like on Thursday SmackDown, and then you got the other network where they show the live. They just put it all on one channel for me, bro. I want it all on one channel. Kind of hard with the Turk though. But looking at the rankings, by the way, I know you guys remember all those guys were talking shit about Brian Norman Jr. I know I'm not bugging. You see how a couple of fights now these dudes praise you, right? That's why I try not to tear fighters down to begin with, right? But you see how everything's switching now, right? I remember when everybody was talking shit about this kid. They were saying he was overrated, and maybe he still might be overrated. But you know what? You could visibly see this kid is getting better. And he anybody that has a good check left hook from an orthodox stance is already ahead of the game in my book. Whether you are if you're a southpaw and have a check right hook, or an orthodox and have a check left hook, if you got a fast check left, I mean, that is such a bro, that is so important, bro. That is so, like, if I was to build a fighter and you were to ask me, hey, what do you want to give him? A good uppercut, a good straight right? I mean, we'll give you a good jab. A good jab comes with just being a good fighter. What other punch do you want? I'm going to go with the check left or a hook. If I can't get the check hook, right? Obviously, from your jab hand, whether it's from orthodox or southpaw, I'm going to go with a check hook. But if I can't get that, then I at least want a hook from the opposite. A hook. That's because I just used to like Tito Trinidad. He would whip it. But still, if you got a check hook off your jab hand, bruh, that shit is crazy. Because you could kind of double it. He was doing that too. You can kind of double that shit. He was going like that, and you could. It's so quick. It's so quick. That's what makes somebody like Ryan, you take away the left. I mean, damn near taking away a lot. I'm not saying that's what he only has, but it's one of his main arsenals. He's got a good right, but take away that left. What does he have really? I mean, the kid was throwing it all night against Tank. But Brian Norman Jr. has gotten better. And like I said, that Centillion fight, bro. Yo, that fight, bro. He showed me so much in that fight. And that, I'll tell you, bro, I want to get this poster on my wall. He knocked him out and posed, bro. Shit. All right. Bro, y'all crazy, bro. Why can't y'all just get along with some shit, bro, huh? I don't understand. You guys like each other, though. Stop that bullshit, bro. Stop that. First, before we get into the rankings, then I'm gonna come back to that dinner real quick. I just want to look at the rankings just real quick. Oh, wait. Steven Lopez he's over there. He was on 147. So Jerron has officially moved up, right? So this hasn't been updated, I take it, right? Or does he still have his belt and he has to officially relinquish it? Does anybody know? If I don't know things, I ain't just gonna say it. I'm gonna tell you I don't know. I don't know. I know he said he moved up, right? Let me see. Yeah, Jerron Boot. Here it is. Yeah. Hold up. Why can't I share a double? What? Why can't? Hold on. Yes, I can. Okay. Hold on. Yes, I can. Okay, right here. Boots officially moves up. Oh, I can read it from you from the rankings. You guys already know this news. Hold on, let me get this shit correct. Okay. Jerron Boots is moving up to the junior middleweight 154 pounds after holding the WBA and IBF. Yes, that's right. I keep forgetting he's unified after beating Stanionis. So we got 2 belts up for grabs, right? So, okay. So wait a second. If he moves up, hold up. Okay, because I was about to say HOD. I was about to say that sounds really tasty for Tio, right? I say Tio, bro, go fight Brian, bro. Especially for the belts. That'll make it interesting. That'll make it worthwhile. Bro. So Brian Norman Jr. got a belt, right? He got the WBO. You got Boots got the IBF and the WBA, and then Barrios the WBC that's going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, shit, that's good for me. I think T.O. and Brian's a good fight. Oh, and by the way, I am with the crowd that I feel like you need to redeem yourself, bro. Let me make this clear, bro, because this is just an opinion how people could think on things, bro. But I feel like you are as good as your last fight. Let me make this clear. I feel like you are as good as your last fight, bro. If you do something your last fight and you don't do something to your standards, then you need to redeem yourself. You don't get rewarded for that. That's where I stand. So it ain't like, oh, why don't you let it go, Shadow? He ran already. Let it go. Yeah, he did. Okay. He needs to redeem himself from me as a fan. People paid for a pay-per-view, and he's not the only one at fault. But it's the principle, right? People watch boxing to see a fight. That's exciting, right? You pay money, and of course, Devin and Bill is always going to tell you, we are on the main event or pay-per-view, whatever, right? So don't get mad at the fans when people are like, wait a second, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Oh, you're not real fans if you don't want to see that. No, fuck that. I paid money. I don't want to see shit like that. I want to be entertained. And you're going to sit here and tell me that this kid's going to promise that he's not going to do that his next fight? Fuck that. Let him fight someone else and prove it to me that he's not going to do that. Then I'll say, as a fan, I want to see the T.O. fight. I ain't going to let that go. It ain't about let it go. It's in the past. Bro, it is in the past. You want me to spend my money? No. Go fight somebody else and show me you're not going to fight like that. Then I'll be like, all right, what's up? I'm not gullible, bro. I don't care about the history. Because a lot of fighters got history, bro. Richardson Hitchens and Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson got history. T.O. got history with Devin, and Devin got history with all those guys got history with each other. Ryan, Tank, Shakur, Keyshawn, all these kids, all of them within the class or whatever, a class above or class below, whatever. They have history. But I'm at a point as a boxing fan where, yes, I love a great promotion, but damn it, the fight better be good, bro. I would rather have a fucking boring ass press conference, no press conference. I'd rather, I don't care if it's lame as hell. Let the fight be good, bro. Let the fight be good. There will never be another Adrian Broner as far as press conferences go. But how many times have we seen an Adrian Broner press conference and go, oh shit, and then he doesn't let his hands go, right? So for everybody saying, yeah, but T.O. and Devin got history, bro. Hey, okay, great, bro. I'm not paying to see that shit. I'm paying to see what they're going to do in the ring. And I'm telling you, don't get mad at me that the last time I saw this kid, he fought like he was fucking terrified. And now you want me to put faith in that of his word or your word or whoever's word, and you want me to just pay blindly for the next pay-per-view? No, I'm not. No. Let me see him at least see how he's going to fight against somebody else. Then as a boxing fan, I'll say, all right, let me see him fight T.O. I'm standing firm by that. Great promotion, shitty fight. Some people are okay with that. I'm not. How about a good promotion and good fight? He is entertaining. Even now, no matter what he does, I'm always going to criticize his performance though, Hawker. I'm always. He could knock somebody out and I'm going to say he should have did this better. That's just how I am. I think he had a great performance against Barboza, but do I think he could have did a hell of a lot better? Yeah. I think T.O. was being a little, T.O. was being careful in a way, but not like Devin. Not like Devin. But if T.O., like, come on now, you don't think if T.O. really wanted to, he couldn't turn up the pressure? He could have, but he was comfortably winning and throwing offense, a meaningful offense. A meaningful offense. I say it a third time. A meaningful offense. Not let me throw something because there's 10 seconds left in the round And by the rules, I have to throw something. Because if I don't throw something, I can't win this round. Because as much as people want to try to tell you defense wins fights, that's a lie. You can't score on defense alone. This isn't football. Football, you can intercept the ball, you can recover a fumble, and you could go, you could sack them for a safety, you could do an interception, you could do a fumble, run it back, right? I don't know how many other sports you could do that. In boxing, you have to score with a punch. And that's why I go back to that article by Steve Weinsfeld, and I use him specifically because a lot of these guys are pro PBC, and he's the PBC judge, where he specifically states, and I've read it to you numerous times, I don't have to pull it up, where it specifically states, if a fighter throws 10 punches and the other fighter blocks 10 punches, and the other, so meaning he throws 10 punches, he doesn't land 10 punches. The other guy blocks them all. And the other guy doesn't throw anything, it's an even round. Even though they're going to probably give it to the guy that threw the punches, because now they got to start going down to, now, you know, like when they're even here, then they got to go to like, all right, who had the better effective aggression? Okay, who had that, right? But his whole point is you cannot have defense alone. In fact, he even states in that article that, you know how certain rules are at the referee's discretion, right? So if something happens, the referee's discretion, what does that mean? The ref has the discretion to whether stop the fight, take a point. It's up to him. They give that power to him. So you could get mad all you want and say, oh, well, the ref took a point or whatever. It's up to his discretion, bro. That's what that means, right? It's up to the judge's discretion when there's an even round. Now it's up to their discretion what they want to pick. And he says almost every judge, and like I said, if y'all want me to pull it up, I will. I just got to look for it. And he says almost every judge he's ever been with always favored the fighter that was throwing punches or engaging, the person that was trying to fight. So if they were at a stalemate, they would go, fuck it. Well, who you think was trying to actually, you know, fight or throw more or bring it more? And every time, give it to him. Because why? Because it's a fight, y'all. Because it's a fight. That doesn't mean you negate your defense and you just let people hit you. I mean, people are so damn extreme. I think it's harder to not get hit and to hit your opponent. I look like stick and move. Like that shit is hard. I know I've got on Shakur previously, but Shakur showed me something in that fight against the electrician. Because in that fight against the electrician, when HOD came up here and showed me the video with Showbiz when they had the grips and shit like that, and he had the strength of a 13-year-old kid or something like that, and he was having hand problems, he knew, yo, I got to get this electrician out of here. Like, I'm a 3-division champion. The more I go, the longer this fight goes on with this kid, it's going to look bad on me. Now, let's switch that around, and it was Devin Haney. Do you think Devin Haney would have get? I guarantee you, Devin and Bill would have been like, man, fuck that. It's all about the win. We don't care. It's about the W. At least Shakur had I got to get him out of here. This looks bad on me. They're already getting on me for the De Los Santos shit and the Artem shit. I tried with the Artem shit. Y'all booed and walked out. I tried, y'all. He was trying, bro. He just poor kid can't do it. But he was trying. That'd have been Devin. He'd have been like, fuck it. And he would have smiled and gave you the finger. He wouldn't have cared. And then the next day, Pops would have went to the Boxing Voice or somewhere else and started trying to degrade Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard. That's what they would have did the next day. To take the heat off his son, he'd have went on another channel and start shitting on the greats. Oh, you motherfuckers don't say that, man. Don't you ever compare yourself to Floyd. Don't you ever compare yourself to Sugar Ray Leonard. Don't you ever compare yourself to Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker, Roy Jones, James Toney, Winky Wright. Don't ever, bro. Don't you ever, bro. Make your son look stupid when you do that shit. All them dudes had the decency to know we're in a fight. He brought up Floyd. What interview was it? I'm thinking like, bro, are you serious? Like, I get it. I get it. Especially like I'm, Bronx, Patterson, New Jersey, right? My whole life. And there's some Mexicans over there, especially in Passaic County. There's a lot of there was a lot of Mexicans and like Hondurans and Peruvians, right? All of them would always be like, Floyd runs, and I'd be like, I don't think so. He's just very defensive, right? He's not Chavez, he's not, right? But he wasn't just throwing a punch just to throw it. Like, Floyd mounted an offense, bro. And he looked good doing it. And he had one of the best pull counters I ever seen, bro. Yes. Did he fight everybody he was supposed to? Hell no, I don't think so. Hell no. I think he waited to fight Cotto. I think he definitely waited way long to fight Mosley. Zab. He would have, I think, I don't know, I don't know if Zab would have beat him prior to losing to Costa Zoo, but that was years later. But still, yeah, he could have fought Paul Williams before Paul Williams had the accident. He could have. But he didn't. But let's not forget Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy was a bad motherfucker, boy. I like Pretty Boy, bro. All of these guys, bro. James Toney. Roy Jones was defensive. Shit. Winky Wright, bro. Embarrassed my favorite fighter of all time, Tito Trinidad. Tito couldn't get through that impenetrable shell he had. Couldn't get through it. Man, it was a different generation. It's just a different generation. But I think HLD had brought up the point the other day. Something that I did agree with Showbiz is a lot of these new kids now, the ones that we see coming up, the Abdullah Masons, the Brian Norman Juniors, the Kid Austins, right? They're all these guys are abandoning the whole bling bling Floyd Mayweather mindset, and now they're adopting their own, the dog. They bringing the dogs back. I like that, bro. Abdullah Mason, Brian Norman Jr., Kid Austin, and whatchamacallit, what's that dude that won? What's the dude's name? I don't know if he's Puerto Rican or not. Tito Masato, is that his name? The one at 140. And I told y'all, bro, oh my goodness, bro. I don't know how to find this kid, bro. There was this Puerto Rican prospect who was knocking everybody out. And I was like, bruh, finally. This kid went to prison, bro. He's doing like 15 years. Killed somebody. I'm waiting for the next Puerto Rican fighter, bro. So, real quick, because I got to move on to the Canelo thing, but I will say this. Whoa. Wait a second. I keep forgetting that Rolly's at 147, right? Yo, Rolly impressed me, man. Shout out to Rolly, bro. Let me just, man, he impressed me, bro. I like to see the underdog win, bro. So many fighters pick on this kid, bro. So many, man. I've even done it, bro. I've even done it. I was happy for Rolly, man. I mean, I was mad that he beat Ryan and fucked up the rematch, but I was happy, bro. I'm glad. I like Rolly, bro. He's humble. He got to be humble now. You done got knocked out all those times, but man, he carried the Pitbull pay-per-view. He carried that Tank pay-per-view. I think he should go to the WWE when he leaves. I'm happy for him, but he's at 147, Rolly. And so we got Jaron Boots Ennis at 1 IBF and the WBA moving up to 154, which leaves. So most likely, let me understand this. I'm not so familiar with the whole belts and regulations, stuff like that. But from my understanding, when Boots moves up to 154 and relinquishes that WBA belt, they're probably going to make Rolando Romero the super, correct? He probably doesn't even got to fight for it, right? The reason why I say that is because I believe that's how Jaron Boots Ennis got that belt. Wasn't he elevated? And that's why y'all were calling him the email champ as well. Somebody else moved up. Was it Crawford? Was it Crawford? I think Crawford did move up. And then I think it was Jaron Boots Ennis that was the WBA regular. And then he got to the super. And then y'all started calling him email. And now he's going to move up. And now Rolly will be. Rolly ain't got no problem being email, bro. He don't give two fucks. Rolly don't care, bro. You can make fun of him all you want. He ain't going to give a shit. Rolly, he is, right? He is, right? I forgot what he is, Tito Mercado. I forgot what he is. I know he wants all that smoke too. But yeah, I think I gotta keep it 100 when it comes to TO. Before I move on, I'm just gonna say this, like, bro, you said you was gonna fight Boots, right? And you said that the reason why was specifically, from my understanding, is you wanted the belts, right? And it was a good payday, right? I think it was 11 million, right? So obviously we got to still remember the money, but think about it. Boots gonna move up, Rolly's gonna be elevated, right? We could possibly get a TO versus Rolly. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing Rolly versus Devin. I'd love to see Rolly chase him around for 12 rounds. I'd love to see that. Devin be running for his deal, that boy. He don't want to get hit by Rolly, bro. It'll be straight up. That fight will be just straight up BMX bikes up in that bitch, bro. Just straight up. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro, until he proved me wrong, bro. Anyway, by the way, I will say this, bro. Before we get on to the whole dinner shit, I don't think Devin Haney ducks anybody. Like, contract-wise. Which is what makes him so weird. He's so weird to me. This kid is so weird to me. It's like, I honestly feel like if you go to Devin and you pay him, right? I don't see the kid ducking you. I just don't. He look like he'll sign the contract. He'll make the weight. He'll show up. He'll put the gloves on. Like, I give him that, bro. I don't see too many times Devin be like, yo, I pulled out, or, you know what I mean? Never really. You gotta refresh my memory. Like, he ain't the ducking type. It's not that. It's like, once you get in the ring, the shit you do. That's where I got the issue. He played it safe with Gamboa, and Gamboa was over the hill and had an injury. He was piecing up Jojo Diaz until Jojo started catching him. Then he went on a little, safety type shit. Even when he fought Prograis and dropped Prograis, he didn't even rush in to take out Prograis. He went right back. It's almost like he got more defensive. He was shocked. Oh, shit, I dropped him. What do I do? What do? You go finish him. Nah, I'm going to play it safe. It'll come around again. It'll come around again. It never came around again. Linares, probably the best performance he ever had, bro. Until Linares caught him and he had them chicken legs. And I don't know if he could recover or not, but for the rest of that fight, he was running. Loma did well. Until Loma started piecing his ass up and went back to the corner. I'll never forget that. That shit is hilarious. Yo, Bill Haney and Teofimo Lopez are both tied. They're both tied in my book for the most ridiculous shit you could ever say in a corner. Both of them are tied, bro. I don't know which one's worse, bro. I can't tell you which one's worse, bro. My guy T.O. going to the corner while he's losing to Kambosos and hearing T.O. Sr. say, we'll get some ice cream. Finish it. Or fucking Bill Haney when Devin Haney goes back after getting pieced up by Loma and says, Dad, he figured me out, Dad. And instead of saying, throw this or check left hook or do that, he says, we knew this was going to happen, son. Remember? Bro, if I'm going to prison for life, bro, I'm not going to be around a whole bunch of cock diesel men trying to take my cheeks, bro. I'm going to try to unalive myself, bro. So you better give me some good advice, bro. You don't tell me some shit like, oh, you knew this was going to happen if you were found guilty. No, you better give me some motivation, bro. Your son goes back to the corner. He's getting smacked in the face, bro. We knew this was going to happen, Dev. So basically, you got to deal with that. Once Loma figures you out, you're going to get smacked in the face. You could have told him anything. You could have said, well, throw this, throw that. You just told him, we knew this was going to happen. You should have saw the poor kid's face. Kid's face lit up. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that, Dad? It's right up there with T.O.'s father saying, let's go get ice cream. Both of them, bro. Both of them shits. You like Yeah, that's no surprising, bro. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, bro. And then he ran at the Loma fight, right? So, I mean, y'all want to bring up Shakur all the time, but let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck here. How many fights? If we want to keep it real, like 100, because I hear people, they always want to put Shakur in there with Devin. I understand. Trust me, that De Los Santos shit was horrible. It was horrendous. In fact. All right, let me ask y'all a question here. I already know your answer is going to be none of them. But if you had to rewatch a fight right now, you have to pick one, bro. You can't say neither. Which one do you want to watch? De Los Santos and Shakur or Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez? Which one? I'm kind of curious to see what y'all really think about that. If you had to pick between watching De Los Santos and Shakur or Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, what would you pick? And you have to pick one. I don't know, but I'd probably pick Devin. I might have to. And that's saying something. But how many times have you seen Shakur do that? Nakatilia, Edwin De Los Santos. Who else? Artem. People keep bringing up Artem. I went back and watched that fight. He was trying. He was trying against Artem. When people walked out and was sleeping and shit and walked out in his hometown, he was trying, bro. He kind of gave up at the end towards the later couple of rounds because he's like, I ain't going to be able to knock him out. He was trying. Shakur was trying. With the electrician, he was trying. He just can't. There's a difference. I think Devin is talented enough. He can. If he really, he can. I'm not going to sit here and say he can. I think he can, bro. Just don't want to. And that just disgusts me at times, bro. That shit be disgusting to me. He said, I can't. I just shot my TV. Shakur, you picked the Shakur one? I mean, they're both horrible fights, man. Shakur and De Los Santos, Devin Haney, and Jose Ramirez. Now, the only other fight where I could bring up Shakur in that aspect, right? The only other fight would have to be Shakur and Nakatilia, right? But that was bad too. But that's it. I don't remember too many. Now, Devin, I could point to you numerous times where he's done this. Numerous times. He played it safe with Gamboa. I don't know if he was just playing it safe or I think he just had a lot of respect for Gamboa. Regardless, bro. Jojo Diaz, when he started getting pieced up, Jorge Linares towards the end. So I'm not even going to use that, but I'm just using as an example what happens when he's in trouble, right? Pro Gray, he dropped him and just kept playing it safe. Loma, last 3 rounds, right? It's like the effort leaves this kid. I don't know if it's a heart issue or a chin issue. I don't want to say it's a heart issue because I think he's got heart because he kept getting up with when Ryan dropped him. And I think that was more about just being embarrassed. I think he just didn't want to be embarrassed no more. He didn't want to be embarrassed, but it's embarrassing, bro. That fight was that fight. The whole world was watching that fight, and it was a and I remember the lead up to that fight because we kept checking the seats and shit. If you remember the seats and everything that was going on with the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Not only that, but the whole coming overweight and then accepting money. All that made the fight so much more intriguing. And then you add into the fact that they had a past where they were in the amateurs 3-3. So it had a great storyline too on top of that. Like Devin had to get up, bro. He had to get up. But anyway, with Brian Norman Jr., bro, I do want to make it clear that I think Brian Norman Jr. has improved a lot. And I know people are gonna either do 2 things. They're either gonna shit on the Japanese. I don't want to mess his name up. Sasaki, whatever. They're gonna shit on him. Some of them already are calling him a sous chef. You already know how this community is. And then you got the other half of the community that are acting like they never said nothing wrong about this kid. They're now talking like they've been bigging up this kid. Like I said, I remember everything. But I find it funny. And I'm not perfect. Shit. I know I've said some crazy shit. Some shit looks weird to me. Looks weird to me, that's all. The whole dinner thing. I don't know, man. Before I get off, HLD, do you want to come on for a couple minutes and talk about or anybody want to come on? Talk about this Canelo dinner shit, bro? Does anybody? Let me know. Hold up. Let me drop it real quick. Just in case. I don't know if just so you know, until I unsubscribed from StreamYard and it'll be ending soon. I don't know if I'm going to Streamlabs or whatever, but I've been having an issue with the link. So if you're not able to get on, then you need to tell me because there's another way I can do it. But the other way requires me logging off and logging back in. And I don't want to do that unless you can get in. I think some weird stuff is going on, bro. I think if this fight is even close with Canelo, I think they're gonna give it to Crawford, man. I think they're gonna give it to him. It's just weird, man. It's too much friendly shit going on. Like next, they're gonna be playing golf. Next, they're gonna be on you're gonna see them both laying near the beach with the fucking umbrellas and the liquor in the cup and shit. Like, what are y'all doing, bro? Why don't y'all go play tennis and volleyball and shit? Like, this is too friendly to me. You think so? And by the way, Hawker, you don't ever have to worry about me getting mad at you, brother. Come on now. It's just a difference of agreement. I need to log off. Shit. Ain't this some shit? Hold on, brother. I got you. Hold on. Piece of it. I'll be right back. I think the best way. How did I do it last time? I think I did it like this. Hold on. This is why I can't wait, bro. I don't know what is wrong with. I don't know if anyone else is having this issue with StreamYard, but this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, bro. That I got to do this. All right, HLD, try this one. I see you, brother. Hold on. Yo.
¿Qué pasó?
Wanted to make sure before I clear the screen.
Hold on.
Yo. What's going on, man? Hey, you got an echo there.
Yeah, no, I got you on mic.
So what's going on with this? Well, first off, before we talk about the dinner date, anything you wanna say about anything I've been saying?
Yeah, man. Fuck the Haneys.
I mean, stuff that I thought you probably wouldn't say.
No, man. I mean, it's been a long day, bro, with the damn fight from this morning and shit.
Weird time, huh?
Well, I mean, because it was in Japan in itself, but yo, man, I a little bit disappointed in Sasaki because he came in wild, and that's why he got. I mean, he was just, bro. You came in like an amateur to get clipped by Norman Jr. You know what I mean? And so he did what he had to do. Well, you came in open and wild, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, look, before you even get into that, you and me both know people are gonna make it seem like Sasaki was a fucking. I looked into him after you told me about him. That kid's good. And I've seen him way better. He is patient, more patient than that. I just think that sometimes HOD the pressure it does like what do they say the moment overcomes them or whatever. I think sometimes that can happen. Like I think that happened to Ryan when Ryan on May 2nd. On May 2nd, when I look back at it, people are going to bring up the whole Austrian thing. Bro, look, Barry, dude had a speck of Austrian in him. He did look a little different, but either way, it doesn't even matter. Ryan has performed way better without, when he looked like a fucking, a pencil. But I look at May 2nd and how it was set up outside and rolling up in the vehicles.
What happened to Ryan Garcia May 2nd?
You said medication, right?
It was medication, bro. I'm telling you that. He's bipolar. He was on bipolar medication, which is why his whole demeanor was not even on fight week. Was it like, you know what I mean? You like to say that too gets a little weird. I don't see it, but I do understand there's a level of aggression that sets in on fight week because you're cutting weight, you're ready to go to war, and he was like, man, I'm about to go to Starbucks and get a latte. You know what I mean? And that attitude was because of his medication. Yeah, I know he had some issues with his hand. And he had surgery. It was serious. If you look at it, it was a serious surgery in 2 parts.
No, you're right. Because I looked at the when they were you remember when they were in couple of weeks before the fight, they were all sitting down on the couches inside the building, or it looked like they were inside the building, the skyscraper or whatever. Right. And that was when T.O. was like fucking trying to instigate shit. Like, come on, bro, we gonna promote this shit. Remember, you know what I'm talking about? Like Ryan was acting.
He was very calm,
very calm and mellow, and he ain't really like that, especially during
fighting. He reminded me of Mike Tyson, how he is today when he's walking around. He's because he's chill, he's all drugged up, man. And that's why his demeanor is kind of turned down.
Well, and maybe Sasaki then.
Sasaki's problem to me is it's in part because of the culture. They Not
I was
that
gonna
they
say the
believe in their
culture.
hype of what other people say. They just believe in themselves so much that
Yes,
I'm gonna
yeah,
come at you, bro,
yeah.
and
It's
I'm
the
gonna.
honor and shit. Yeah.
And so
I
he
like
fucked
Japanese
up.
fighters, bro. I still want to go to Japan, bro. I really
It's
do.
beautiful, man. He fucked up, and so, but when he tightened up and he just put up his high guard, and Norman Jr. was bro. Those after there was a few rounds that then
Yeah,
Sasaki was like,
he was
oh
catching.
shit.
Yeah, he was
I'm like,
catching.
here it is. This is the kid I'm talking about. That he's dangerous,
He is
But
dangerous.
by that time he already taken some punishment by being stupid.
And yo, Brian Norman Jr. continues to show me, bro, that he's a fucking dog, bro. Dog.
Well, he played it smart. My plan is that he cannot fight Sasaki the way he fought Santillan to outdog him because he's gonna get fucked with this kid because this kid could crack with
Yeah, he
both
could crack.
hands.
Yeah, I saw. Who was the guy you put up before? I was talking about the guy that's undefeated. What was his name?
Hirioka.
Yeah, that's the only guy that beat Sasaki prior to Brian Norman Jr. And
yeah, he stopped him like 8 fights ago.
Yeah, he stopped him. And I was watching some highlights of that fight, and Sasaki kid hits hard, man.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. So even when he goes down, he comes back. So what I saw from Brian Norman was that he and I always said he has a better boxing pedigree than Sasaki.
Yeah.
And so what you saw was composure and willing to set up, because there were a few rounds that hey, what are you doing? Why are you going toe to toe with this guy? You know what I mean? And when that was happening, bro, he was getting tagged up by Sasaki, and so he created his distance again. Started boxing a little bit with his power, but boxing. But then he set him up for the trap for that knockout.
And Brian Norman Jr.
You said it too. We saw growth.
Growth, yeah, because
we saw growth.
Yep. When I saw him in the, they uploaded the Santillan fight, Top Rank, this today. After that fight, so now you could officially, I don't know if you watched it anywhere else. You could go in the, if you're subscribed to ESPN, you could probably find it in the backlog. But they put it on their YouTube channel. They just today the Santillan fight, and I'm watching it, and you can see growth from that fight to this fight.
Yeah, because in that fight it was all who's gonna outdog who. It was who's gonna outdog who, and he outdogged Santillan. As simple as that. 2 pit bulls, and then hey, I clamped on your ass and you finished, and that's all that happened in that fight. But in this fight, he had his momentary few rounds in between 2 and 4. I'm like, bro, you gotta. But he did. He created his distance.
And Norman Jr. is most dangerous when you stun him, hurt him, or you're pressuring him, which is what makes him dangerous.
I think he's just learned, bro. What I really liked was his composure. He wasn't hyped up. He wasn't amped up. He was just serene to what he needs to do, and I loved it. I love that about him today. Sasaki is not. Look, bro, he's not an elite fighter. No, he's not. But he did show me stuff that I didn't see before, and I appreciated it. It's the same thing that we just saw with Hitchens and Kambosos. We know he's trash.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up, yo.
But Hitchens showed us another side.
I liked it,
and I saw that, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And I even you know what? I can and
this is where we can criticize Tio.
Huh?
This is where we can criticize Tio. Like these 2 guys fought 2 guys that were not on their level, and they showed another level of who they are to beat the shit. And what Tio showed us with the Claggett fight, for an example, the only thing I can is that he can go toe to toe.
Right.
He can't fight off his back foot all night, and he's got a gas tank that you're not gonna outwork him. But it was not the right strategy that I wanted to see for him in that fight. I wanted Tio to do what these 2 guys did: get him out of there. That's what we all wanted.
Yeah, I'm like you in the aspect that, like, look, man, I've been open before about, like, I've said, you look, man, I have my personal reasons why I didn't like Richardson Hitchens. I'm still not the biggest fan of the kid, but I give respect to where it's due. And I hardly ever post, and I was posting during that fight. I was posting. I was like, bro, he's boxing beautifully, bro, and he's standing his ground. And he's being defensive, but he's standing his ground, and he's not getting hit, and he's firing back. And I'm like, bro, I can't. What the fuck am I gonna say? He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, it's against Kambosos, but really, look, once you're in the ring with the opponent, I can't fault you for being in the ring with that opponent. You can only do
these bums that when you get in the ring with these bums, they're there for a reason, for that you can elevate your game, do the things that you've been practicing that you can't normally get it done with someone else because this guy's inferior. So get the work in. It's no different when me and my son were working at on the mat, in wrestling, and we've been working on whatever the fuck we've been working on that week, and then all right, the first guy at the tournament for Saturday is not that good. Make sure you put the work on him, practice those moves, so that you could get the experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's what these guys are for. The Kambosos, today with Sasaki, and these guys did that. They practiced what they were able to do before, now, and you see the growth in it. Now they can take this to another fight.
I think I know your answer to what I'm about to ask you, but I'm still going to ask you anyway.
Fuck the Hades.
Do you think that because T.O.'s only loss came from Kambosos, and we call him I call him the one-hit wonder. I don't think he beat Maxie Hughes. He was given a gift. Do you think that this only goes to show that he beat T.O. on an off night, or do you think it the opposite way? Like, this really makes his it aged really. You know what I mean? Like, T.O. was kind of exposed. Or I think if anything, it shows T.O. was on an off night.
Everybody who is a somebody in boxing, and I'm not talking about us YouTubers here. No, I'm just talking about anybody who's a somebody in boxing knows that was an off night. Other promoters, other coaches, they know. Look, man, they put T.O. again 10 out of 10 times again, and that will never happen. T.O. just had a bad night on this guy's best night, and it just shows to prove that even your best fighter, it doesn't matter who you are. Mike Tyson had the same issue at that night with Buster Douglas. On what is your subpar day, another non-elite fighter of your stature who's at his best that day could beat you.
And like T.O., I didn't mean to cut you off, but like T.O., even though that person was at their best, Mike almost stopped Buster, and T.O. almost stopped Kambosos. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Everybody knows that. So, I really don't care. That's why I never cared about no damn rematch. Now let me say this. Had Kambosos had another miracle fight and beat Richard Hitchinson, oh, you damn right. I want to see then T.O. versus Kambosos for unification.
Well, that's why I brought up, like, I have a good memory. Like, you got a good memory too, because I remember we were talking and you brought up something I did when I first got to this community. You was like, I remember when you didn't even know how to start a channel, and I remember that day. I remember that day. Y'all were laughing at me because I was like, how do I start a channel? Like, I'm over here thinking I gotta fucking apply for something, go to some office.
Like this motherfucker, bro. We talking about boxing. He wants to turn this into a
yeah. But I remember talking to Teofimo Lopez Sr. and I remember talking to Bill during the whole Kambosos shit, because at that time everyone kept saying he's ducking T.O. And I remember T.O. Sr. I said to him, hey, what's the guy's name that, with the state, what was it, Gamache or whatever, what was his name?
Gamache,
right? I'm like, yo, where's he at? And he was like, nah, it's just me and my son. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just remember him saying, I'm like, oh, whoa, why don't you have him? And he's like, oh, we're just going back to me and my son. And I remember him telling me, he's like, yeah, but it don't matter because after we get done with Kambosos, we're going for Taylor. He was saying it then. So it's like when people were like, oh, he ducked Kambosos, bro. One thing I will say about T.O. Senior, bro, the man, like I went back, like I said, I went back and watched the Blood, Sweat, and Tears episode, right? And in that episode, he's talking about how, and even in Loma even acknowledges it. He said that years before they even were gonna fight, right? That and Loma's even talking about it, right? That T.O. Senior said that he bumped into Loma in an elevator and said, yeah, I just want to say congratulations, this and that. And me and my son's coming for you. And Loma was like, who are you? Like, he didn't really know who they were. And it's true, because they asked Loma, and Loma said, yeah, I remember that. And the whole time, remember, that was why they called T.O. Senior Nostradamus or whatever the fuck his shirt had, right? Because he kept saying that was going to happen. And he said they were going to go for Taylor. So he tells you ahead of time. So that's why he's 2 for 2. So when I hear him say shit like, we want to fight Crawford, or we'll do, I'm gonna take your, like, bro, if you've proved me twice already, I'm gonna take your word for it until you show me otherwise. You know, whereas the opposite, you ever heard of the story, The Boy That Cried Wolf? You ever heard that story?
The what?
The Boy That Cried Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Right. So for those that don't know, the boy that, it's like a famous, when you apply it to life. You know, back then you had to work. There was no welfare food stamp line. Like, everyone had to work, including kids. And one of the jobs that kids would have is to watch over the sheep. And if they saw wolves, they would have to say wolf. And then the people would come with the guns and everything. And this kid kept playing around saying wolf, wolf. And they kept, and so he did it like 3 times. And then on like the next, whatever, he saw a big wolf, a mean one. And he's like, wolf, wolf. And everyone was like, the kid's up on the hill yelling wolf. We'll let him go. He's just fucking around. We're not going to fall for it this time. And it killed the whole pack. And it's something that you're supposed to apply to life. And when I look at that, right, that's why I say, like, I think when you say something, it should mean something. Your word should mean something. However, one thing that you've shown me over time is this is a business. So some shit that you say, you're just saying it for the business. But the whole thing that I get, my issue that comes with that is, like, it muddies the waters sometimes. So I can't tell, like, motherfucker, are you serious or are you just promoting right now? So I feel like you should just be straight up when you're not promoting, you know, like, or afterwards be like, I was just promoting, or whatever it may be. I say that because I look at your track record. If you say, I'm going to do this, and you've done it before, I'm gonna take your word. Then for somebody who keeps saying, I'm gonna do this, and you never do it, bro. So I'm inclined to believe T.O. Senior if he says we're gonna do something. He's 2 for 2 in my eyes. Why would I think it don't matter whether I like him or not. I'm going off your history, right? So just like Devin, I know you might disagree. I don't think Devin actually will duck anybody. As far when I think he'll fight you, but when I say fight, you got to listen to the context. Like, I think if the contract is right, he's not going to duck you. He's going to make weight. He's going to put the gloves on. He's going to show up. Now, what he does when that bell rings, that's where I'm kind of like,
he's a selective cherry picker, man. Him and his dad, they know what they're doing. You know, look, they looking right now. They were talking all that shit yesterday. Oh yeah,
Brian Norman,
Brian Norman, and no, he's trash, and he's just this and that. Man, hey, bro, the Haneys are frauds, bro.
I started off my live saying, look, man, I'm gonna keep the same energy with T.O. I want to see, like, if those belts are available, and if Turkey wants that, and if Brian Norman Jr. Wants to, it'll be I don't know, maybe they could wait for Undisputed, maybe at 147 in the future. Who knows, right? I would love to see it. But when it comes to the whole Haney's thing, I'm like, look, bro, this is why y'all think I'm bullshit. And it's like, you guys sit here and say T.O.'s afraid to fight this man, T.O.'s ducking this and that. But look at these guys. They put out this crazy ass list, right? And they're talking all that shit about Brian Norman, and he was tweeting Brian Norman all week leading up to that. And Hitchens, if you remember, he was doing it to Hitchens too, right? He said, yo, Hitchens, you got trouble making weight. Meet me at 147. Right now, I get it, bro. It's part of boxing and this and that. But like I said, it's where I go back to the boy cried cried wolf type shit. So it's like you're saying all this shit, you're putting out a list, you're doing all of this because you had a horrible performance, and you're not supposed to get rewarded for horrible performances. That's why Turkey said what he said. And he was talking about Skull. He was talking about Devin. He's talking about anybody else who doesn't, right? Well, not just one fighter. I'm not going to say it was just Devin. It was, I'm just putting him on there for a reason. But at the same time, you got this list out. You got all these names on there. And then now you see this performance like this, lays the kid out. And now you got all your little meat riding channels and all that over there now going around saying, oh, well, you know, Boots moved up to 154 because he didn't want to fight Devin. And now you got Bill on X saying the biggest fight for Boots, Boots would have been Devin. Well, why? Fuck all that, bro. Fuck, I don't want to hear all that. Look, Boots is gone, bro. Boots is gone. He ain't here. What about Brian Norman?
Bro, you're lying, bro. There was never no Boots thing, bro. That was another lie.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, nah, fuck. I don't want to hear none of that, bro. What's going on with Brian Norman now? What is it? Because you guys walk around and you fucking have all these channels and all these channels that Bill Haney goes on, and all you guys just want to sit there and make it seem like, oh, well, Teal ducking, Teal. Okay, y'all gonna put the pressure on him for prove to me, show me how what Teal should not do. Prove to me, Teal a duck, right? Prove to me. Tell everybody, be like, you know what? Let me show y'all. Let me grab my fucking nuts and show you what T.O. ducked me. So now I'm gonna show you what not to do. Why don't you do that? No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna continue the antics and go around and go to Showbiz and Punch Drunk and all these other guys and fucking say, you guys use us for content. Yes, we use you for content. You put yourself in a predicament where people can use you for content. You never let your son speak up for himself. The kid, literally, anytime you say anything about this kid, his father's the first one to come out, bro. And you wonder why people look at him like that. Like, I sometimes and I get it, he loves his son, but I feel like sometimes he hurts his son. He was on Showbiz I saw you there on Showbiz the other day talking about, did you say that about Floyd? Did you say that about Sugar Ray Leonard? Bro, how dare you fucking bring them up, bro? How dare you compare yourself to those greats, bro?
Oh shit!
That's why I go at these motherfuckers, bro. I don't care because yeah, I know T.O. does some shit. Trust me, I call it out every fucking time. But at the same time, I know. Even though T.O. is a hit or miss in the ring, right? I'll admit that. He's a hit and miss. I don't know which T.O. I'm gonna get. I know from past track record history, and when you put him in the ring and his back is against the wall, you get the best version of him. Every time. So far. When people say T.O.'s gonna lose, he's gonna lose this fight, his back is against the wall, it's not even close. It's not close. He shows you. Not only does he beat him, he doesn't beat him by the skin of his teeth. He clearly beats the motherfucker to show you, say, yeah, you were saying? Now, when it's against somebody that's like of hardly any stature, and we're like, I wish T.O. would have fought this guy. Now, those fights seem to be closer for some reason. Maybe, I don't know. But when his back is against the wall, bro, he showed me time and time again, bro. So it is what it is. And yeah, I gravitate to T.O. And yeah, I'm biased towards T.O., but I also criticize T.O., and I'm not dumb because there's nobody on earth that's not biased. Everyone is biased. You just got to be fair with it, bro.
The problem with T.O. right now is he has a contract with Turkey.
I asked you that the other day. So he's not with Bob Arum no more.
Let me see how I can explain it. The three fight deal that he did with Turkey somehow had a stipulation where all he has to do is pay them a percentage of 2 more fights. So out of the 3 fights,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Teal signed a 3-fight deal with Turkey, right? A 3-fight deal.
Yeah.
The stipulation for that 3-fight deal was kind of like a conditional release of T.O. to where.
Hold on 1 second, HOD. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Hey, brother, when did you get here, brother? When did you get here? Because if you were listening to me, you wouldn't even have put this comment right here. I'm asking you when you got here, because if you've been listening, you wouldn't even have wrote this.
Fuck the Haneys.
So that tells me you just got here. It tells me you just got here, which is fine. It's fine. Let me know if you did, because I already covered that already.
Fuck the Haneys, bro.
Let me say, I don't like repeating myself, so let me say this for the people that come in. If you see there's like hours gone by, right? I get it. You don't want to take your time and go. You've been listening, so it was probably a little bit before that. I already said I disagree with HOD in that I don't think Devin ducks anybody as far as contract goes. As far as if the money, now he disagrees, but I'm saying as far as the money goes, as far as Devin will show up, Devin will make weight, Devin will put on the gloves. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do when that bell rings. I mean, I got a pretty good idea now what he's gonna do, especially if he gets clipped. Tio, on the other hand, yeah, it's a hit and miss. But I know every single time he had his back against the wall, he beat the motherfucker clear as day. And unfair when it comes to both of them. And I'm always going to sit here and tell you that I rock with Tio, but I'll criticize him. You're always going to get the truth out of me. You ain't going to get no lie. You ain't going to get no narrative. You ain't going to get nothing. I'm not going to flip-flop on nothing. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I don't like the fucking running shit, bro. And he ran his last fight. And they disrespect greats like fucking Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather. And every single time Bill is on a panel, he goes out of his way to talk about Floyd. And it's like, how dare you, bro? Like, don't even compare yourself, son, to Floyd, bro. You make Devin look even weaker, bro. Pretty boy or money. Pretty boy or money. The only thing I'll give Devin is that if I had to pick, let me guess. Let me see your answer here. Since you've been here 8 minutes, let me ask you this real quick. What would you rather watch? Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez or Shakur versus De Los Santos? What would you rather watch? I'm interested. You have to pick one. I'm interested to see your answer.
And it's funny how he uses that C-level shit. So let me see. Devin Haney versus a C-level fighter like Ryan Garcia got his ass whooped. He lost to little old Lomachenko. We all saw he get whooped by Lomachenko with the gift. And then he fought Ramirez, another washed up super D-level fighter. So what the fuck does that make Devin Haney?
I mean, I will now look. Let me just say this, and then you can say something. HOD. Bro. I agree. I don't agree with you when you say you can't be that guy, but I will agree with you that Tio does look mediocre at times. Where that's why I always criticize his performance. I expect more out of him. But yeah, bro. Tio is not a perfect fighter. I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect fighter.
Bro, this guy says he's a former boxer. Right there, you just proved that you don't shit. Because if you did, Austrian don't do shit.
Yeah, Austrian's a horrible. Yeah, Austrian, bro, is fucking horrible. And on top of that, bro, I don't think you think he outboxed Loma? Then we must be looking at boxing differently.
Yeah, he ain't nobody, bro. He's a troll, man.
Loma.
He's a troll, man.
Yeah,
I
don't think it. Yeah. No, I let them talk, HOD, because it shows me how they view things. I could see, like, all I got to do is ask you 4 or 5 questions, and I can already tell how you view the sport, bro. That's why I ask questions.
Back to the Tio thing. What Tio did to sign that 3-fight deal with Turkey and Top Rank was he has a conditional release. Basically, Tio gets to fight whoever Turkey wants him to fight with. And as long as they get whatever agreed percentage from those purses, Tio's got 2 fights left on Top Rank that he owes them percentages until he's a total free agent.
Wait. So is it 2 fights with Turkey or Top Rank?
Well, it's both because it's a 3-fight deal.
Right.
He had 1 with Barboza, so now he's got 2 fights left.
He's got 2 fights left.
Yeah,
and that would probably explain why Turk was pissed about the whole fucking the Boots fight, the Boots not happening. And I would also probably explain The whole I mean, look, oh, well, hold on, wait, before I forget, I'm sorry, HOD, and I will let you finish, I promise. Hey, brother, just to see if you're trolling, let me ask you a question. Who do you think Turk was talking about when he made the Tom and Jerry comment? And I could tell you if you're trolling right now.
Of course, he was talking about
No.
Mayweather and Sugar
No.
Ray.
I want to give him a chance to see what he said. Who do you think he was talking about? You think he was speaking specifically to just Claggett? Because we're talking about Turkey here. It's the same guy. Mind you, this is the same guy who doesn't give two fucks whether he disrespects Canelo or not. Because in my eyes, he kind of threatened Canelo at the Crawford pay-per-view, where he sat there and said, Crawford is my favorite fighter, and he gave himself his Hall of Fame award and sat there and said, if he knows what's best for him. So this is a man that doesn't even care if he threatens Canelo because he's got infinite fucking access to money, whether it's his money or not. And you think you think he just said some crazy line and just didn't say Skull's name? You think he gives two fucks about Skull? He's talking about Devin Haney, William Skull, and anybody else who makes an embarrassment to boxing. Because at the end of the day, you could give it a pass all you want. And I'm not saying that once you do something, you can't be forgiven. I am a firm believer in you are as good as your last fight. I pay for 95% of my pay-per-views. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I've never used a Fire Stick before, but I pay for 95% of my pay-per-views. Okay?
You thief.
Bet a fucking fight. If you run like that, then I am inclined to think you will do it again until you prove me otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, well, he promised he's not going to do it next time, guys. No, I'm not. You could do that. I'm not that, bro. And I don't give a fuck whether it was Devin. I don't give a fuck if it was Loma or Tio or Boots. Anybody does it. So it ain't even just being biased towards Devin. Anybody does some shit like that where it embarrasses the sport of boxing, because that's exactly what he did. UFC motherfuckers was laughing at us. Like, nah. And then you sit there and then you want to say, well, did Floyd run? Don't you ever do that, bro. You crazy. Don't compare yourself to Sweet Pea. Don't compare yourself to James Toney and fucking Sugar Ray Leonard. Man, the more he say that shit, the more you gonna make me go at the motherfucker. Go ahead, HOD. The whole card, it wasn't TL's best performance either. The whole card was horrible. The whole card. And I even said, look, even with TL's best performance, that was lackluster in my eyes. The whole card was embarrassing, bro.
Bro, you gonna answer my question?
I said, go ahead, HOD. You didn't say nothing. Just right now.
I was on mute?
Yeah.
I was like, what is by far Tio's worst performance of all the fights that we've ever seen him in?
Who, me? You asking me? Let me see. Maybe the not the Jermaine Ortiz, the other one.
Sandor Martin?
Yeah.
You think it was Sandor Martin the worst performance?
I mean, because I think he could have did hella better.
Okay, so it could be a toss-up between, as fights goes, not that, but just that we see him like those are like, are any of those two performances worse than Devin Haney versus Ramirez?
Fuck no.
So not even Tio's worst.
Here goes the difference. Okay, and I'm gonna say this. Hey, Mike, let me ask you this, Mike, because look, I don't know if you're trolling me or not. So let me say this and tell me if you understand it.
That's a burner account.
Okay. Well, whether it is or not, I don't care. I've already said it. A lot of these guys that know me come in as different. I don't know why they do it. I don't give two fucks. You want to come in with 15 different personalities? I can care less. Still gonna talk to you the same. If a person, if Shakur, people like to put Shakur in that category, right? So when Shakur was supposed to fight Kid Austin, and who did the whole hand test on him? HLD, was it Showbiz?
Yeah.
Okay, so Showbiz does the whole hand, which I think is kind of
Well,
crazy.
he doesn't show, but what he did, he did a video clip of them because there was Ring Magazine people who did the test, for the video shoot, and Showbiz took the clip and used it on his show.
Okay, well, anyway, that shit was funny though. But you find out that Shakur has the strength of a 13-year-old boy, and he's got hand problems. And he was in rehab during that time. And Kid Austin, he was gonna fight Kid Austin. Kid Austin pulls out. They pulled the electrician in there, right? Even with bad hands, even with the De Los Santos fight looming over his head, also accompanied with the Nakatilia fight that happened years ago. So you got those two fights, but especially the De Los Santos fight, and especially the Artem fight where people walked out when they were sleeping, right? Which, by the way, I think he was trying, but still, you got those fights looming in your head. You're a 3-division champion. A 126 beat Joet Gonzalez, 130 unified, and 135 I think the Japanese do. So you're a 3-division champion, which is harder to do than to beat one guy that beat a guy that gathered all the belts. And you find out that Kid Austin is about not going to fight you, but we're going to replace him with this guy that's an electrician from 9 to 5. Shakur knew, even with bad hands and everything, I got to stop this guy, because if I go to distance with, do you understand what that's going to do to my career? Right? So he stopped that guy. Devin Haney wouldn't have done that. Devin Haney would have said, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. A W is a W. He would have went over there, did the same shit, wouldn't even have tried, and then Bill would have went on the next day and started trying to degrade other greats. Did they run? Did they run? And that's one of the biggest problems I have with them. That's one of the biggest problems, because at least Shakur tried. Devin would have been like, fuck it, I don't give 2 fucks. And then fucking Bill would have went on the next day and said, hey, look, man, at the end of the day, did the scorecards, did the judges say Devin Haney the winner? Did the judges say Devin Haney the winner? Did you say Floyd? I don't want to hear that shit. Don't bring up Floyd. Don't bring up all these guys, bro. Your son is who we're talking about, bro. And the shit gets disgusting after a while, because it's like, bro, you forgetting, bro. Like, pay-per-views aren't cheap, bro. Like, I work for every dollar I get. So it's like, I don't know about y'all, but that shit upset me. Now, look, I get it, bro. I don't expect him to drop his hands and just go all out. Brother, you know what I mean by that. I got to take a piss, HOD. Just talk.
Copy that. You know what we're talking about. Bro, they're both Shakur and Devin Haney are in the top 5 of the shittiest fights of all time. Get the fuck out of here. Simple as that. Ramirez was washed. He was there to be slaughtered. Simple as that. Simple as that. Over here, he had 8 punches more than Shakur. He's in the top 5 of the shittiest fights in the history of boxing.
Hold on one second.
This guy's over here talking about, he had 8 punches more than Shakur's fight. Blah, blah, bro. They're in the top 5 of the shittiest fights in the history of boxing, bro. And you over here trying to play the few punches more. Get the fuck out of here. Your man is ass. Trash. Ramirez was there for the taking, bro. He was there to get slaughtered. And your man was scared to death. I don't give a fuck if double digits, bro. In the history of boxing, both those fights are considered the top 5 of the shittiest fights of all time. Period. In the history of boxing. Shit. Your favorite fighter's in the list of bullshit. There's nothing to be he's trying to defend that. These are the same fools that are like trying to say, Keyshawn didn't jump him, bro. He didn't say that they didn't jump him, bro. There was nothing like that, bro.
What's going on?
No, this guy's playing semantics with the punches and shit. And I'm like, bro, he's in the top 5 list in the history of boxing of the shittiest fights. This is the same guy who's playing semantics. Oh, Keyshawn didn't jump. What's his name? The guy that he jumped in the locker room. He didn't jump him, man. He didn't jump him, bro. Everybody say jump. It was just a headbutt. It was just a headbutt, man. Motherfucker, he jumped him in his locker room, bro.
Yeah, and look. Even if the electrician is on the same level as Ramirez, at the end of the day, Shakur knew the longer this fight goes on, it looks bad for me. And all I'm saying is, why am I inclined to think that if it was Devin, he'd have just been like, I don't care.
Ramirez is worse than Padley today.
You want to know why I know? Is because he said that before, and that's what Bill said.
Yeah, but Ramirez, in this stage of his career, today is worse than a Padley.
Yes, he is.
That's all I'm saying. So he was there for the taking. Yeah. Hey, Shadow. So obviously Tio has what's his worst? He has 1 loss.
I would say Sandor Martin would probably be the worst.
The worst fight. Like, we already declared that either Sandor Martin or as the worst performance, Sandor Martin or whatever Jermaine Ortiz were like the most fucked up fights.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say the Kambosos one because even with his condition, he almost stopped.
Right, I was gonna get to that, but even still, both of those fights are better than what Devin Haney just did. Now let's go to the losses.
Yeah,
Teofimo lost a split decision war versus Kambosos. Devin Haney somehow got a split decision win
with Ryan. Was it
a split decision?
It was.
Yeah. Whose loss was worse, bro? Tio versus Kambosos or Tio versus Ryan? Or Haney's loss versus Frank Garcia?
I mean, I would say Devin, but I want to give Devin some. I know you're not, but I want to be fair. Like Devin Haney, it's still his fault, by the way. He took the money, but Devin Haney always the one thing I will give Devin Haney, and I'm never going to take from him. I'm never going to take this from him, is he doesn't miss weight. He can come in looking like a skeleton.
But why are we coming up with
no, I'm
things?
just telling you.
Like
I know you're not going to give him shit. I know you're not going to give him shit, bro. I know you're not going to give him shit. I get it, but I'm telling you what I give the kid. Okay, I know you don't agree.
Because
I know
we're talking about just strictly boxing.
Because I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. One thing that I'll give this kid is he always makes weight. And I don't think that he'll duck you if the contract is right. Now, regardless of who you think selective or whatever, it's when he gets in the ring is the issue that I have. But with the Ryan fight, Ryan didn't have to cut the full weight. I don't count the Austrian for shit, because if you know anything about Austrian, it's still a PED, but I mean, everything was suspect about that whole shit. The amount was like a speck. Fucking Devin Haney's brother saying, "Oh, Allah came to me and told me he's gonna be dirty, so y'all just stay tuned." And then the shit unfolds up with Victor Conte.
That kid is weird, bro. He's like
weird as hell. But anyway,
he's gay as fuck.
As far as the fight goes, I give him credit for getting up all those times. He didn't do much with it, but I think it was the more of the embarrassment of getting knocked out. Tio almost stopped Kambosos. In what, the 10th or the 11th? 10th. Devin, after getting clipped in the first round, came back, and I gave him the middle rounds. I don't know what you gave him, HOD, but I gave him the middle rounds.
Middle rounds too?
Devin Haney got clipped in the first round.
Oh yeah, the middle rounds he was winning them. He won I would say he won like about 4 or 5 rounds in a row.
Right. I was about to say, I give him about 4 or 5 rounds in a row. I give him that. And he was, and to me, he was frustrating Ryan. Ryan was getting upset, but again,
I think he was playing possum, bro.
Again, once he gets clipped, like, I think Devin has a heart issue, but his heart issue is weird to me. It's weird. It's not the type of heart where a lot of fighters, when you clip them, they get up, they get, you know, they get, 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 they they grab their nutsack and they're like, "Yo, what up? My back is against the wall. It's do or die." Devin gets up as in, I don't want to get knocked out on TV.
Yeah, that's what it was, bro. But
no, I've been through this 1,000 times. There's two different types of heart, bro. You got the heart where you drop me on TV, motherfucker, I'm gonna get that back and I'm gonna hurt you. And then you got the other one that's like, bro, I can't get not on TV. I don't want to see those tweets the next day. I don't want to see the memes. I gotta get up. And then I'm just gonna play it safe again. There's two different hearts to me, though. It's two different hearts. Does he have heart? Yes, but he don't have the same heart as somebody that gets dropped and gets up and tries to get it back. That he don't have. But so he has heart.
Back to Teal's conscience. Basically, right now, what Team Teal and that they're waiting on is on Turkey. He still has a 2-fight contract that he has to honor to Teal. Had Teal been suckered enough to take the fight with Devin Haney, it would have restructured that whole entire contract.
I'm a little bit, hold on,
didn't take it.
Help me out here. I'm a little bit confused here because how is Bob Arum just allowing fucking Turk to just do this shit though?
Well, because he signed them over. He's like, okay, you're gonna take a 3.
You cut off. I'll wait for you. I don't know if your phone died or you cut off or something. If you cut off, let me know. I'm about to get off in a second, Monteka. Wait, hold on. Do y'all hear that? Hold up. I see you, but I want to make sure that's you. Hold on. That's weird. That's a weird. Do y'all hear that sound? Hold on. Yo.
Yeah, but it sounds weird.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take the other one out. Oh no! I don't want to do that.
You want me to go back out and come back in, or?
I got you. Okay. How's this sound now? Is this you still there?
Let me talk good.
Okay.
Yeah, but it sounds robotic.
Yeah, it does sound it to me or you.
To me.
Step out and come back in.
All right.
Hold on. You there? Okay, he's gonna come back. Okay, hold on. I know that's you. I just gotta play it safe because you never know.
Yeah, it's me, but it still sounds weird. I don't know why. But
I can still hear you though.
It is what it is.
You're very much clear on this end. What was you saying now? Because I got to get off soon too. But what was you saying?
That's cool. So with this 3-fight deal, what had happened with Teal with Turkey, it's a 3-fight exclusive deal with Riyadh Season Turkey Al-Sheikh. Obviously, Teal has a promoter contract with Top Ring. So what Bob did, because it was such lucrative amount of money, Bob is like, fuck it. Here's you can have Tio. Just give us whatever percentage it is per fight from his purse to us. So and so Tio only had to honor 3 fights with Turkey, which is just the 3 fights that's left to pay for Top Rank. Tio already did Barboza.
So just to make clear, so it's almost like he's like, look, I'm gonna take him for 3 fights and I'm gonna send him back to you like that.
No, I'm gonna take the 3 fights. We had because the money was so good for the 3 fights. Bob Arum said, "Okay, you can have them. You can have them, but the percentages per fight of his purse belongs to me."
For how long?
For 3 fights.
For 3 fights, okay. Because I was thinking that I'm like, bro, ain't no way old ass Bob gonna be letting you do that.
No, because the money was so good. He's like, oh, so I don't got to deal with Teofimo Lopez and Senior.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. He probably, bro. Bob is 90 years old. He ain't trying to deal with T.O. no more, bro. He like, get this motherfucker.
Oh,
out.
you're gonna feed him the boots? Maybe he'll get his ass kicked anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so anyway, so he's out of it. So Tio's got 2 more. So basically, this contract has an expiration date, and I think it expires maybe in February.
Right.
So that's why Tio knows, hey, I gotta fight either September, October, and I gotta fight. I don't know if he said December or January or something, but he knows, yo, you got you. So Tio's just gonna sit on his thing and wait till they honor the contract, or they're just gonna have to pay him the money outright.
So these are the possibilities before we close with, because I still want to get your take on Crawford and Canelo, but just real quick. But the possibilities could be, of course, Devin revisiting. That could always be a possibility.
The Devin, that's what you said. The Devin fight is still on the table. It's up to Turkey Al-Sheikh. Just honor my side of the contract. I don't care who you put in front of me, but make sure that it's what my contract says.
Yeah, and then you got so now that Boots officially moved up, you got
Unofficially.
Unofficially. Once he officially moves up, then I guess the belt will be relinquished, and I'm guessing Rolando
will be elevated to champion.
Will be elevated. Rolly will be elevated to champion, and then by then the Pacquiao and the Barrios fight would have taken place.
PBC got 2 belts,
right? And then you got Brian Norman. Possibility in the future. It could be I'm thinking either Tio or Devin will probably end up. I hope that, you know what, I've seen some people say. I saw what was his name? This is guy I watch. He's a kind of, I don't know if he's a newer channel or whatever. He's like a Hawaiian dude or whatever. I forgot his name, but he's like, no, Devin, don't do it. And I'm over here thinking, nah, fuck that, do it. No. Fight Brian Norman Jr. No, go ahead. He's on that list, right? And it's Devin versus everybody, right? And since people want to put this whole thing out, T.O. ducked them for whatever reason, right? Well, show us, grab your nuts and show us what T.O.'s not supposed to do. Show us what ducking doesn't look like. Since he's on the list, he's in the division or whatever. I want to see it. So I want to see Brian Norman Jr. chase Devin for 12 rounds.
I think there's a slight possibility. I know that Riyadh season is pissed off with Devin Haney because they literally admitted that they fought the way they did and they stole their money and they fucked up the show, and so they're not happy with him. Period. Which is why they also gave him a pay cut. But is there a possibility if they want to say, look, we'll just put Tio versus Devin Haney, honor his contract, and then that third fight, we'll talk to Bob and maybe we can make a Tio versus Brian Norman. I could see that happening.
Well, so we just got to sit and wait, but
we got to sit and wait. There's just
okay.
Everything's on the table, but Tio's not playing dumb. He's not gonna sign another contract because then they take so look. They were changing Tio $3.5 million off his contract, bro.
We still got to remember, Hitchens is now a free agent, right?
Yes, but
that's what he said.
Yeah, but that was just a stupid mistake because Hitchens was just listening to Conley, but they're gonna sign. Hitchens has no problems with Eddie. He appreciates everything Eddie has done for him.
Oh man, Eddie put Richardson Hitchens in a great spot. He even admitted it. He's like, yo, he changed my life.
Yes, he like, bro, he's a gentleman to me, and he loves him, bro.
He did. He said that. He said, he said the first thing he did, HOD, before he even thanked God or whatever, he said, hey man, I want to thank Eddie. He changed my life, man. He did change his life.
Yeah, and it was just because what Connolly was trying to do was the same thing that Berlanga did with Eddie. They relinked after the last fight. He went on his way, and he made a direct deal with Turkey to fight Shiraz. And so guess what? He doesn't have to pay a promoter, extra money for that fight. He went directly to the source. The problem with that Eddie's putting out there is that Conley's charging almost as much as what a promoter does percentage-wise from these guys' purses. And he's like, how is the fuck is Conley like making this much money when he has no risk in it? I'm getting 20% or whatever the fuck it is, but it's because I'm putting up the money for the fight. What is the manager doing?
Speaking of Shiraz, just real quick, when is that? When is this Berlanga fight with Shakur?
The 19th or the 12th, one of the two.
Oh, so it's not too far off, right?
No,
oh,
it's less than a month away.
Who you got for the Shiraz and Berlanga?
Berlanga's gonna knock him the fuck out.
You think so?
Look, I don't like Berlanga.
I don't really like him either.
And for a lot of non-boxing things, boxing things, because he got away from what he in the amateurs. Berlanga was a boxer. He was a boxer puncher.
Yeah.
But when he got to Top Rank, he forgot all about that, and they got him on this bullshit Wilder shit of knocking all these bums out, and it stunted his growth for however many years it's been.
Right.
But when it came to this Canelo fight, you know, one thing I was scared that he was going to embarrass us. You know what I mean? Us Ricans.
Yeah, he was going to embarrass all Puerto Ricans, right? Yeah.
I thought he was going to embarrass us.
Yeah.
And guess what he did do for me that night? He didn't embarrass me.
Yeah.
He didn't embarrass me. He stood toe to toe with Canelo. He went the 12 rounds, and I saw boxing out of him. I saw boxing. Did he win?
And I think you told me you don't think Shiraz is that good.
No, but and other than the last thing, I was going to grade to that. And the last thing that I saw, but from Berlanga that I appreciated. He no bitch. He no bitch. He means what the fuck you say. What the fuck you mean, nigga? I will fuck you up. Right? When he pulled up to Shiraz, the fuck you mean?
Hey, yo, I'll never forget, brother. I was laughing my ass off the way he talked to Plant. That shit was hilarious. Huh?
Or the way he talked to Canelo, that was real.
Yeah.
There's no bitch in him,
but
bro.
You know what though? But he did like that whole "you my idol" shit at the end though was kind of like, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's just being honest, you know. He
was honest. He was honest. It was kind of weird though, because you went from like because his father was actually the one that was kind of being disrespectful to Canelo. His father was real disrespectful. Berlanga's father. He said some fucked up shit.
So in that sense, I'm hoping that the Canelo fight changes trajectory of his style of fighting and gets back to the basic fundamentals of a boxer puncher, and I think he's gonna destroy Shiraz. He's gonna destroy him.
Okay, and just real quick, the Shakur and
oh, it's not 18 by 18 anymore. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's I looked it up today. It's not 18 by 18.
Berlanga put out a tweet to Turkey like, "Yo, what happened with the 18 by 18?"
So what about what? So what do you think about the Cepeda and Shakur? Just real quick, who you think's gonna win? I got Shakur, bro. I think Shakur's gonna do it.
I'm still on the fence because I know what's going on with his hands. I really am on the fence. And I know Cepeda's not a joke. I don't care what anybody. Cepeda's not a joke.
He's not gonna
he's relentless.
Stop,
he's relentless, and he's relentless.
Yeah, he's not gonna stop, bro.
You know,
he's like his relent, like the way. I'm not saying he fights exactly like him. I'm saying the way, the relentlessness or whatever, right? Is like Eric Morales almost. It's like he stays on you.
And if I see that running shit, I better not. This is like the final stand for me and Shakur. Like I gotta see my man do his thing. He does that running shit. I don't want to know about the kid as you know in boxing as much as I don't want to see Devin Haney.
And so what? So real quick before we get out of here, hey, you think there's some shenanigans going on with this, bro? I think there is, bro.
I think it's Pride Month, bro, and so they're just
Is what? What did you say?
It's Pride Month, bro. So they're over there doing, they're doing a freak off, bro.
Hey, Mike, bro, it's all right, bro. If you fuck with Devin, it's all cool. I'm not gonna. Hey, one thing, bro. Let me say this, brother. Look, man, salute to you, bro. If that's your guy, that's so. Hey, I respect it. I respect this. if you like a fighter and you stand with that fighter, bro, yo, I fuck with it, bro. You know what I mean? The whole flip flopping shit, the whole not being real, not being like, that's the shit that I'm like, stop it, bro. Just stop it. Let's not act like anyone can't get knocked out. Let's not act like we all humans and these guys are humans. I don't meet right anybody. I give people the respect that they deserve, and I criticize, but the bad thing about me that I feel like that I gotta stop is like, if I like a fighter, I criticize him. I know for a fact because I go back and look. I criticize them more than the people that I don't like, and I gotta stop that. It's like I've gotten on there was a fighter that I was going for. I forgot which fight it was last year, and he won the fight. He won the fight. I just didn't like the way he won the fight, and I got on him so bad. People were in the comments like, "Yo, why you hate this dude?" I'm like, "Hate him? Nah, I'm going for him." But I criticize people that I go for, bro. Like I treat it like almost like how I treat a friend. It's like I'm real and I expect the most out of you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna just be like, oh, you gonna go do some shit? Oh, I'm gonna ride with you. Word, facts. I ain't never been that, bro. I'm the type of dude that'll be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know, like that. But when it like T.O. is always gonna have no matter how he performs, I'm gonna criticize it. That's just how I am. But it's only because I want the most out of it. Now Devin is more about, yeah, there's a rivalry with that, but it ain't just Devin. It ain't just Devin. Is, you know, I do the same shit with Tank. I do the same shit with anybody else. And you know, Tank, I know you call Tank the Globe Trotter or whatever. Like, I like watching Tank. I think he's exciting as far as the knockouts go. I think he should have been undisputed. That's just a different story. But like, what I'm trying to say is, I think I try to be fair. I am unfair to that. Like, there's times where I feel like I don't even give Devin a chance, but that's because time and again, he shows me, and maybe some of it is Bill. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe some of it is Bill. Like, I don't like it when Bill starts trying to well, did you think Sugar Ray ran? Did you bro, stop that shit, bro. Stop.
Yeah, but it's one and the same.
What do you mean one and the same?
Devin Haney put it out 3 days ago. You know, my father speaks for me, so whatever he says is his vice said it. So
yeah, oh no, and he did, and also Devin Haney himself put out a video. So he puts out, and this was Devin Haney, it wasn't even Bill. Devin Haney put on X a couple weeks ago. He shows a 15-second clip of Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler, and it's after Hagler done hit him with like a body shot. So obviously, bro, this is Hagler got hit with a body.
Oh yeah, he retweeted somebody.
Right, and he's trying to recover. So he obviously is moving away, trying to get. He just got. This is, mind you, this is Hagler and Leonard. This isn't fucking over the hill Ramirez and fucking Devin, or fucking, you know what I mean. This is Hagler and Leonard, and he got caught and was just trying to recover. And he puts, is he running? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Don't even do that shit, bro.
Hey, but back to this picture, bro. That look gay as shit, bro. That looks gay as fuck. That's Pride Month freak off happening over there, bro. They're probably gonna bring some chicks in and they're gonna take shits on the girls. That looks weird as fuck. Hey, I was gonna ask you real quick, man. What motherboard you got on that thing, bro? Is that the Asus E870 Extreme Godlike? What you got back there, bro? In that gaming PC, bro.
Are you talking about this one, or are you talking about
that bad boy back there, man? Which one's your bad boy? What you running, bro?
On the one that you see, hold on. The one that you see, the one that I'm on right now is the X870 Aurora's Pro Ice AM5.
Let me see it again up there on the screen, bro.
It's an AM5.
Oh, okay. You got all right.
Yeah,
it's still an A70.
That's an AM5, but this is an AM4. It's AM4 motherboard.
Okay.
So it's a last generation, but it still runs all the top games, does editing.
Right. No, it's the E870 is high, is one of the latest of. Then you got the different brands you got the godlike extreme from
This one right here is rocking the this is an older RTX 3080 10 gig, but this one right here, the one that I'm on is the Vapor, the RX 7900 XTX from AMD.
Hey, what's the GPU you running on that bad boy?
I just told you the GPU right here is the RTX 3080 10 gig. It's a couple generations before, and then this one is the last top of the generation for AMD. They got a 97 XT right now, but this one is a 7900 XTX Sapphire Nitro Plus.
Bro, the latest Nvidia one, bro, that motherfucker is almost like $6,000, bro.
Yeah, a lot of money, bro.
For a GPU, man.
It's an expensive habit, bro. It's an expensive habit. My whole damn closet is filled with like just fucking Ryzen CPUs, Intel CPUs, and SSDs and shit. It's like, I gotta stop being lazy when I get some. I'm always tired and shit from everything, but I gotta build a couple of PCs and sell them, bro, because it's just taking up space.
Hey man, but yo, man.
Wait, before we get out of here, because I really gotta go. And my bad for not dropping the link, bro. Like, bro. I don't know why, every time this happens, bro, it's so crazy. People always be like, yo, drop the link. And it's like, I'm right about to get off. I've been on for like 3 or 4 hours, but I get it. It happens. Real quick, what do you think is, what do you think is going on here? Do you, seriously, I know you just said
it's cultural, bro. I mean, I'm fucking around, but it's just cultural. And this man doesn't get it, bro. There's no buddy and softening you up type of having dinner, and
that's weird.
Look at their faces. He's like, bro, well, I'm here because I gotta collect this $150 million check.
But that's weird to me, bro. It's like I'm gonna tell you like this, like I get it. Like if any two guys can do this, it's Canelo and Crawford, because you got to think about it. Like a lot of these guys got to lock in, and like certain fighters won't do this, bro. Like you can't have. Think about it. If you take out Canelo and you would have put in Jermell Charlo, you think Jermell Charlo is gonna have dinner with this motherfucker, bro?
No, if you're paying him, he will. Yeah, you're going to, bro. It's just, if you're getting paid like that, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You know what I mean?
So you don't think there's anything like?
No, that he does this without the other fighters.
Do you think? Where are they fighting again?
They're saying that it's gonna be in Allegiant Stadium. But if you go directly to Allegiant Stadium and you look at the events, September 13th still has a UNLV game. There are no tickets available, and if you call Allegiant Stadium, there's no official booking for no damn Canelo and Crawford fight.
So what do you think is going on?
Now, the one thing I did notice is that the UNLV game, when you go to Allegiant Stadium, it says TBA. It used to be 1 o'clock, the game time. I think it was 1 or 12, something like that.
So wait a second. You have hold on. You have Shakira.
Go to September 13th. Yeah, watch. There you go. Right? Is that it? No.
Yeah. September 13th is the Rebels in Idaho State.
Right. Where do you see Canelo on there? Go to Ticketmaster.
Huh?
Go to Ticketmaster.
Okay, hold on. Well, but that's why I'm asking you. Like, what do you think is going on then?
He thinks that he has. I'm thinking he thinks he has the power to
just fucking buy whatever, right? Yeah.
Well, either to tell him make that game earlier so that we can split the stadium, and we can build our
I bet you, especially after May 2nd, he was able to block off all these city blocks with permits and shit. He probably thinks he can do anything.
But he don't, bro. This is college football, bro. He don't got college football money. He don't got college football money. He got money that he can use to make things happen, but he don't got. And so I'm either they're gonna try to make him the game maybe earlier. I really don't know. And what, split the stadium so there could be two major events? Yo, the tickets are all sold for that football game, and it's 65,000 people.
Let me see. Hold on. Share screen. We're gonna go to Ticketmaster right here.
Just go Canelo. Type Canelo versus Crawford.
I'm just going down straight to the dates. What date is it again? September 13th?
September 13th. Yeah, because if you type Canelo and Crawford Ticketmaster, it'll pull it up on Google, and then you click on it, and it's gonna say no events.
See right here, it says September 6th and September 20th, so it is empty here. But let's see when I put it in. Hold on.
I just got my refund last week for the tickets I bought off a broker.
You had tickets.
Yeah, and I just got my refund last week because they kind of played me. There was a speculative. They were selling the tickets.
Damn, no results, bro.
No results.
I'm telling you, bro, something is weird.
And we're only how far off we are? September 13th. So we're July, August.
I mean, you still got enough. I mean, with his money, you still got enough time.
3 months away.
The thing is, though, you got to give the fans time to buy their tickets and shit, bro.
That's why I bailed out. As soon as I came, I'm like, you know what? No, because I got to buy airfare. I'm gonna have to get my hotel. And then I want to make my itinerary. I'm like, you know what? I was going to spend some serious money.
And this is where we go back to why I say there is no such thing as like when a fighter says, oh, well, he doesn't sell nothing. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. If Turkey's paying, bro, the guy doesn't even care about promoting or making any money. Because if he cared, he would have had this venue and gave people enough time to sell these tickets. He doesn't care. He's probably like, well, I got 3 months or whatever, right? But he's got to give us time to, like, the people that want to go to book the venues, like you said, and airfare and fucking find a hotel. He doesn't care.
The only reason I bought it was not for no Canelo and Crawford. It's because I really believe that Tito was going to fight Boots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's the only reason I bought it. But, bro, I mean, I don't know if you ever been up, but, yeah, you got to do plan. You got to, of course, you want to get the best airfare, the hotel. Then I want to have an itinerary of what I'm going to do that because I was going to go for, like, I'm going to make it a vacation. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it a vacation where I'm going to do some other shit. And at the same time attend the weigh-ins, the workout, all that shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm like,
well, I'll put it to you like this, man. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna just say this, and then I really got to go right now. But I'm gonna say, look, man. Regardless where the fight is at, I still stand by it. If Crawford wins like 4 rounds, bro, I think that might be all that's needed, bro, for them to be like they give it to him.
Getting knocked out.
I don't know. I feel like it might go to distance.
I'm not gonna get off that ledge. As soon as
you think Canelo's knocking him out,
as soon as bro, I don't care whatever Crawford want to do to him. All I know is I saw all these other guys in the past. They were all able to touch Crawford. Everybody was able to touch Crawford. He was just able to outdog him. Well, he ain't outdogging no Canelo. And whatever. You're gonna tell me that the punches that Majimov landed on Crawford, Canelo is incapable of doing the same thing because Majimov is a better boxer, or the same punches that we seen Mean Machine land on him, or Benavidez land on him, or
one
Gamboa.
thing. No, well, the one thing I'm gonna say, one thing Crawford has working for him is I feel like Crawford locks in more than Crawford has had a long time to just focus on Canelo. And this is why a long time ago when Canelo decided to still go ahead and fight Skull, and remember when Crawford went on X and said, nope, I'm not fighting nobody. I'm fighting him in September. Like, he could have went and got another fight, but he don't want to fuck up the bag. So all he's been focusing on is the payday, which is fine. He deserved it. But he's also had nothing but Canelo.
He's gonna get his ass whooped. He's gonna give his best effort. Okay, all right, I can give him that. He'll give him his best effort. He took a whole year off, so he could give him his best effort to get knocked the fuck out anyway.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. I appreciate you for swinging through, man.
All right, bro, man. Hey, you be good, man. All right.
All right,
tune in. Tomorrow's the press conference, the first one in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I'll probably go after that, bro.
And then there's another one on Sunday, and New York, and then they're gonna have another one. I don't know how they're gonna do the one in LA because with all the riots, They might deport Canelo.
I hope somebody asks them for real. Like, I hope somebody is smart enough to be like, hey man, how come these tickets aren't? How come the fight isn't popping up on Ticketmaster and shit?
Hey, look at this guy. What did he say? She was lost against Cambosos ain't aging well. It was never supposed to age well. That was a fluke. You know which one is not going to age well? Is the one that Devin Haney had against Ryan Garcia. Anyway, Papa, you be good, all right?
Take it easy, bro. All right, bro. Take it easy, bro.
Everyone.
All right. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey, man, I get it. Some of y'all fuck with Devin. It's all cool over here. You just know where I stand, though. But I appreciate y'all for swinging through, man. Y'all have a blessed morning. All right. I'll probably go live tomorrow, probably after the press conference to see what happens. I hope somebody's smart enough to let them know, yo, how come the fight's not popping up on my Ticketmaster and shit? But y'all take care, man.